You've been busy with those pictures, so I crikey, how many? It's me there with all the hostesses going along for us from what's the name? Catch Me If You Can.
Well, he's done some new ones yesterday, right? I don't know what our side does. He must just stay up at night going, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just piss everybody off by putting him in these. What is it? But he did a couple of us yesterday that I'll probably put on the next intro. So, but anyway, there's no Tez tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He's poorly. He's
in bed.
he's sent us a picture of him in bed. So Si sent me a picture like that. Matt sent a picture like that.
Yeah. Thanks, Tez. Thanks a lot. Yeah, get well later. Get well, Tez. Get well. Yeah.
So tonight, joining me and Matthew tonight is the lovely Luke and the lovely Si. So thanks, boys, for filling in.
Yeah. Pleasure. Thanks for asking me.
Yeah. So welcome to episode 152.
It's getting thin up here. Air is getting thin up here.
I tell you what, look how we've aged. You know, we were all young and sprightly 4 years ago, and now look at us. You know what I mean? How's everyone's week been?
Yeah.
It's
been good.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet, Pretty quiet, isn't it?
Yeah. So, kids not off where you are, Matt.
Yeah. Kids are off. Yeah. Kids are off. I know the traffic's as bad as ever. They say it's better, but it's not, is it?
It's usually better when it's school holidays, yeah.
Not. Everyone's driving around, aren't they? So, yeah.
I was saying to Matt before, my daughter Suki graduated this week, and that's when I always know, Matt and Luke, that I'm in a different country, because we go to a graduation, they've got the cap and the gowns on, and it's it's all them American movies that we watch as kids, and all got, you know. And it's funny that, because I've been here for so long now, you tend to forget, but it's things like that when you go to a graduation and you're like, oh man, you know what I mean? It's like you know, and it was really good. So
do they still throw their caps up in the air?
Do they throw their hats up?
How do they know how to get their own cap back?
Well, they're not supposed to, apparently, because I asked. It's so funny you should say that, because I asked Suki, are you allowed to? And she went, no, we're not allowed to do it, but they did it anyway. So I've got a video now. I think Suki and Jen, if you follow Jen on Instagram, she put the video up. But they all you all threw it up, and they just grab them, don't they? I suppose.
Yeah, she doesn't write her name in the back, so she knows it's her hat. Put an S in it or something.
But I tell you,
my day. I tell you, it was Shades Disco near Coral Island.
Yeah.
12p Cordio. Dance with Mrs. Webb. So Rick Astley. That was our prom.
Because we used to say, did you do that at your schools, Luke and Matt? Because me and you got your school shirt. Signed your shirt.
Yeah.
Still got your shirts.
I have no idea where
well gone.
No, I don't think we get. But they get the high school diploma or graduation thing. It comes in a big leather binder, and they go all out. But I tell you what, they don't have to rip the kids off. The cap and gown is like $200. The high school senior book, you know, the actual book that they give them all, that's $85 for that book.
It's funny you say that, Shabby, because I mean they didn't have this when I left school. When I left school, you signed your shirt and whatever, and everyone that was it. I kept my Mega Drive, but I didn't keep my shirt for some reason. But anyway, what they do now is they do like a lot of the sixth formers or the year 11s. When they leave, the school buy them. Well, they buy in what they call leavers hoodies. So you can buy a hoodie that has the year you let on the back of it. It'll say, so for example, this year it'll say leavers 24 on the back. Right. And then it has every kid in the year or whatever do a signature, like a digital signature on a computer, and they print everyone's signature on this hoodie.
Wow, that's different. Yeah.
So you've got a leavers whatever year you left in, and then everyone's signature printed on your hoodie. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And then I was talking to Connor, and he went, they're £100 if you want one.
£100?
Like,
no chance.
£100 if you want one.
That's a hot toy, Matt. That's a hot toy.
It's a free with a little hoodie. Get them for £15.
Do you remember getting that achievement, a national achievement award, that binder,
record of achievement.
Record of achievement, that binder. They said you'll
record
take
of achievement.
When you go job interview, you'll take this
the
with
most
you.
important book of your life.
Never bloody used it. I've still got mine. I've still got mine,
but I've read some of the reports in it. I don't want to take that to a job interview.
No.
I took mine to River Island. Oh, I've got the job. I've got it.
Big,
Like Michael Aspel, you read book.
Yeah. Or something. Yeah. Yeah. What a load of rubbish. And we thought it was true back then, didn't we? Oh, yeah, we'll need this. Yeah.
Like, oh, look at this nice red vinyl with gold writing on. This is posh, isn't it? Chucked it in the cupboard, and that was it.
And in the top corner, record of achievement.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But in the beginning, you did use it as important, didn't you? When you did go to jobs as a kid, you did take it with you like your shield, didn't you? Like,
yeah,
I think I did one. I don't want
to read that rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know about you. Not that rubbish. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, Gerard's here. Hello, Gerard.
Hi,
Mr. Redmond is here. Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Jonathan.
The Ball is here. Hello, Kieran.
Nice and early.
Our Des is here.
Good old Des.
The Universal Toy Collector is here. Hi, Stu.
Hello, Stu.
Adam's here. Hi, pal.
Adam, of course, Adam's here.
Let's have a look who else is here. Oh, Gap's here. Good old Gap.
Hello, Gap.
Hoppy's here. Our Hoppy.
All right, Hoppy.
Everybody's turned up. Awesome. G-Force.
Good old G-Force.
G-Force.
Let's have a look. By the time Shabby reads this, 2025 will already. I'll tell you what.
No, he won't. No, he won't.
There you go. As of 8:08, Shabby, you're getting some.
It's unbelievable. I'm heading to Enfield Toy Fair tomorrow. Anyone else going? So, is anyone else going to Enfield?
Enfield. Oh, that's Essex way, isn't it? Somewhere Enfield, is it? Essex?
It can't be that far away from Adam, that can it?
It can't be. Can't be. Is he going to walk it?
State of his feet, I wouldn't have thought so.
Oh, no, he gets some young lady rubbing his feet, won't he? Yeah.
There's an Action Man Day, Kieran. That sounds pretty cool. Action Man Day. Where's that?
Oh.
Action Man Day.
Wonder if VTR Dave knows about that.
Yeah, Nick will be there, won't he, or something? Did he go?
Yeah, Nick could well be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I watched the videos, Matthew. On I watched them both together because I missed the other one, so I had a night watching them. And that Sandown, that looks like a good toy fair, man. I mean, I watched the BTRs, and
it's not bad. Yeah,
dude, I'm like this. The stuff they had, I was like, this is awesome. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
there's some good stuff there this weekend. Some good stuff. Yeah, there's a lot to pick from. Yeah, definitely.
Does that mean it's getting
we're
bigger?
talking about making a Sandown, going down to a Sandown, because it's the only one I've not really been to.
Yeah,
it's
a nice little. It's kind of quite a posh. There's a posh area. There's a lot of nice houses, and there's a lot of like. There's
a race course.
Yeah, race course, and there's quite a nice little tiny short little bit of a town where there's like some coffee shops and restaurants. There's some nice places there. Very nice.
Yeah, so, it's nice. Is the actual place called? It's Sandown. The actual town it's in. Is it? Or is that just a race course?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of. The places we go through, but it kind of was known for that. I guess you say you lived there, Sandown Racecourse, and it's Surrey, isn't it? I guess it's Surrey. Surrey. Yeah, is it Surrey?
How long does it take you to get there, then, Matt? Surrey from where you are.
It takes just under. It can take us about an hour and a half, but that's like really early in the morning. So we're going at 6, so we miss the traffic. But coming back, it takes us about 2 hours. Yeah.
So Jumpy's here, Connor's here. Hi, Connor.
Hello, Connor.
Oh yeah, but me and Jules are looking at going to Shepton Mallet next Sunday. First time, not been to Shepton before, so we're talking about.
Toy fair every other week. Am I just crazy? Or...
No, I think the same as you. Look, it feels like every week now in England there's another toy fair.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to that one that Toy Ploy does? That Bath one? Did you ever go to that one?
No, I think he goes to Shepton Mallet a lot, so I might see him there. So I think a few guys from like Plymouth, like Jules Burt goes, and David goes, who lives down in Plymouth. I think he's been a couple of times. But
David Stevens.
David Stevens, David, and but I think Toy Ploy, you might see him there. So
hi Keith, hi pal.
Weirdly, I've never been to the one that's closest to me. They have quite a big one at Doncaster Racecourse.
Yeah, Doncaster.
An hour from me, and I never go to it.
You should go.
I think there's one on the 30th of June. I think the next one is.
I'm surprised though, where Si lives and in Blackpool, there's so many toy shops and so many things.
Yeah,
there's not that many toy fairs though, Si, is there in Blackpool?
No, and the con that we have here, we have a 2-day Comic Con, but again, it's anime. All the kids dress as anime, and it's all anime over top. It's not really a good con, really. There's
Funko Pop heaven, isn't it? Yeah,
just on that level. Yeah, it's not like. Yeah.
People are still buying.
I've never been a hater of Funko. I've got quite a few of them, and my Claire collects them. And I just think that in the next 20 years, we might be thinking differently about Funko.
You know what? I don't have any issue necessarily with Funkos. As in, I don't like hate on them. They're just not for me. However, I tend to get bought them as gifts from people because I'm a collector. I think people just assume I collect Funkos, so I tend to get some. But whenever I've tried to move a few on in the past, and I can't move them full of no money, and I just think are they just not a thing anymore? But then you go into every toy shop, and there's racks of them.
Yeah, you see,
that's why I like them, Luke. They remind me of like the old Star Wars figures where they're everywhere. It doesn't matter if you go into a chemist, they sell Funkos. It doesn't matter anywhere. You know, it's like
I think you go these all over the place. You go these big MCM, innit? Big MCM in London. They've always got.
I'm not a Funko hater. I quite like a few Funkos. I don't
have an issue with it. I mean, to be fair, I have got about half a dozen. When I'm quite lucky that when people do buy me, though, they tend to buy me characters that I love. So I do think I'm keeping them because I mean the gifts obviously, but they're really good ones. But I end up sometimes inadvertently with just pretty standard ones.
I see them every day
when they're lined up. They do look pretty good when they're lined up, I
have to stare at them every day. And the missus has got all Harry Potter ones, so we have to stare at them.
Yeah, does she open them or does she leave in the box?
Yeah, they're all like she chucks the boxes away or chucks them in the loft. She doesn't keep them. So, but some of the big ones.
You actually sent me a Funko, Luke.
So that again.
Ren, do you not remember? You actually put in one of your parcels a Kylo Ren Funko Pop.
Yeah. I saw the other day they're doing all the RoboCop ones now. You're like, oh wow, they did look interesting. They did look interesting. I had 209, then RoboCop with the helmet off, and then the main baddie and blood. He even had blood on him, so it did look.
You've got to give him credit for that sense, Matt, because they do that many like music. Like I got Sire Notorious B.I.G. one with the album behind it, and all that sort of stuff. So they do loads of licenses, don't they? So anyway,
maybe 20, 30 years from now, we'll probably be thinking a bit different because there's so many exclusives and special editions and art of finds. And I just think in 20, 30 years, this youth that love Funkos while they're around everywhere will be the ones that say these are the new.
Some do go for a couple of grand, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I've seen a few that are really expensive, aren't they?
Yeah. Look at this. Scott Whitehouse is away for a naughty weekend. Look at this.
Oh,
no Wi-Fi on my mobile. I bet there isn't. I bet there isn't Whitehouse. I bet there isn't. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah. Oh well, I can't not comment on anyone going away anywhere because Chris Smith will be in the chat before long calling the mattress mangler out, won't he?
I'm ready thinking about lingerie this
morning. For Chris, he doesn't
lingerie. Oh my god, he laughed. I was reading. It's like this big thing about lingerie, so I read it, and I got to the end. I was like, what? He's a brilliant. Oh, this whole. Oh, you have a great chat. Looking forward to catching up in a couple of days. Cheers, Scott.
All
have
right.
a nice time, buddy.
Thanks, Scott. Enjoy.
Yeah. Shabby might have caught up with the chat by then, Scott. Yeah, very good, very good. You know what I mean? Let's have a look. I assume you're still basking in the glory of last week's quiz. Who's he talking about there? Who won it last week? It was.
Are you on about the movie quiz?
Movie quiz. Are you doing it, Luke? Are you in that movie?
No. I spoke to Stu when he was talking about the Star Wars. Sunday nights just aren't a good night for me, so I always struggle. I struggle to even watch them. Never mind take part in them. So no, unfortunately, I would do, but Sundays are just not a good night for me. So unfortunately, it
was hard last week. I watched it, and it was like
they all struggled at first. Yeah, with the fantasy, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, do we know where the questions are coming from? Are they just Trivial Pursuit sort of movie questions?
I don't know. I think they're proper made up questions and everything. They've researched a lot of them. Yeah.
So Cat's here, chocolate chips here. Hiya, chocolate chip. Hiya, pal. Lovely to see you.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, surprised. Never thought comedy would be my thing. Well, yeah. Oh, that's right. Whitehouse won it, didn't he? Scott won it. That's right. And then Martin came. Was it Martin that came second?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Star Wars Part 99 will be released by the time Shabby gets here. You see, they've all got something to say, RSI, haven't they? Do you know what I mean? I'm getting there.
Aren't they? Always complaining.
Oh, it was it not Brett on Fett? Brett and Fett got through, didn't he?
Brett on Fett. Martin was in the first episode, wasn't he? Martin was in the first.
Oh, yeah, Martin came on the shows.
He came second. DTM won it, didn't he? DTM, and then, yeah.
Oh, DTM didn't break us. He's like the new Des, isn't he?
Yeah, I can imagine he knows his stuff with movies. No DTM.
Yeah.
I'm dreading it. I'm dreading getting musicals. I really am going to get
Talking about movies, I've got a topic to talk to everybody tonight about, and I'm going to put the link in the chat when we start bringing it up, because I'd like to know all your perspectives. It's easy watching these people the professionals on YouTube and this on that YouTube, but I like talking to normal blokes and getting your opinion on it. Do you know what I mean? And
sorry. Do you mean 3 professionals on YouTube?
3 professionals. Oh yeah,
you mean that?
Normal blokes.
All the professionals on YouTube. I'll just have to talk to you 3.
No, it's just interesting to me because there's things that's going on in the States, and obviously I'm an Englishman that lives here, so I want to know your perspective over that. But I'll bring it up in about 10 minutes or so, and I'm going to put a link in the chat. So if anyone wants to come in and give their perspective, that'd be awesome. That'd be really cool. Look who's here. Rob's Retro's here. We're meeting Rob in a couple of weeks.
Rob was very generous one. He sent something to Matt. Keep on collecting, sent him, lovely stuff.
Honestly, Rob's Mitchell's one of the nicest blokes. I can't wait to see him in real life at Joe Fest in a couple of weeks. You know what I mean?
Nice and good looking, makes you sick, doesn't it?
I know, I'm not going to stand next. Although, if I was single, Rob would be the guy you'd want to be best mates with, wouldn't he? You know what I mean?
He can protect you. He can protect you, Shabby. You jump up and he can carry you, can he? He can knock a door down.
I get
mouthy.
I'll get mouthy when I've had a bit to drink. So Rob's perfect for me. You know what I mean? I'm going to smack that fat English bloke. Hang on a minute, Rob, just come over here a second.
Yeah, he's used to taking doors down and stuff. Yeah,
I can't wait to meet him. And DTM's coming as well, and the lovely Helen, and super awesome.
Great,
You know what I mean? You know, it means a lot to me. Stuff I suppose it would to you a lot when you meet everybody at your Sandowns and your NECs and so forth. Do you know what I mean? So I can't wait to go. So anyway, look at Keith Guppy, Mando number 5. Look at this.
Mando number 5. Yeah.
Hi, Keith. I think I upset my neighbours with my latest video. The charge was too big. I went into their garden. What's he bloody doing him next door?
His bangers. Got his bangers. Yeah, it's a good little video.
Him in his cardboard.
Yeah.
Oh,
cardboard and the bangers. Oh dear.
Brilliant. Bikers here. Hello, Biker.
Biker Scout.
Yeah, we're up to 50 already, so we appreciate that. That's awesome of you guys. George is here. Evening, 4 lovely lads.
Hey, Georgie.
Oh, stop it.
Stop it.
Oh, good old Tree's back. Hey, pal. Nice to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Jason's here.
Hey up, our Jace.
Hey up, our Jace. Let's have a look.
Watched his video the other day, going around London Comic Con. Jason, that's a good video.
Yeah.
Done some good stuff.
Yeah, got some posh new audio equipment and all, didn't he? You see his new audio stuff. Got some posh new audio equipment.
I like it because he's a manga and he's an anime fan, like I am. So when he goes around these places, he's searching for that sort of thing as well. So whereas a lot, like you see, like a lot of these toy YouTubers, they don't really film that sort of thing because it's not really a collected of what we collect, is it? But Jason does. He films all that, so that's why I like watching his vids.
Yeah.
I read that and I went, all right. Then I realised what he was saying.
Okay, Connor.
Yeah, I think that's what the whole thing was, G-Force, about it, because they all did it. They all threw it up, and but it was good. They got a name on it as well. She's
Does she go to college now? What does she do?
Yeah, she's gonna take the summer. She's going off to that as well. So tell you, Mr. McGuire. Hi, John. Good to see you, buddy.
Hello, John.
Kev's here. Good old Kev.
Hi, Kev.
Look at that. Luke's on. Luke's on. Oh, stay and watch it then. I'll be trying some fishing line to that hat, not losing that. Yeah. I tell you what, they all do. I mean, they all grabbed them and whatever. It's weird as well because it doesn't sit on your head properly. So you can be saying it's like it has these 2 wires that come in like that. And you sit.
All right.
So in other words, it's
like a headband.
It's like a headband. Yeah. It's like that. So Martin's here. Hi, Martin.
Yeah, Martin.
But then, do you actually keep them forever, or do you just like?
Yeah, she's kept it. So yeah, she's
sell them back on, and then people reuse them, or they hire them or something.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Well, no, I thought that as well because remember the Harry Potter thing where the Weasleys kept giving them the gowns, hand-me-down gowns. But what happens is they have a red gown, then they have this thing that goes over it like a white thing, and on the front it has the logo of the school, but on the back it says 2024. Dead big. Right. So you can't really use it again, can you?
No, you can't use it, can you?
No. Let's have a look. Everyone's saying hello to each other, which is awesome. Martin. We need one hoodie saying 1989. Is that when you finished 1989?
Oh,
Was it for me inside 92? Wasn't it? High school side 92.
92.
yeah.
When did I finish? 95. I finished, I think.
95.
I'm trying to think now. 90. Oh God.
Luke, can you get a hoodie with Grange Hill 2000?
Knew it was coming. I was waiting for it.
Martin says hello to everybody. Here we go. G4 says my high school had those hoodies back in the 80s and 90s. They were only 25 quid back then. It's funny because they use that excuse, don't they? Like, oh well, it's for the school. All that money's going to the school. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, all right. We had a big party when I left school. Well, when I say we, I mean the teachers and the other kids. I was invited.
What surprised me, that does not surprise me.
Look at that. I still have my record of achievement.
Oh, you still have it? Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. BOE's
He
here.
still has his record of achievement in because he's never returned a book in his life, has he? Yeah. So that's why he still has his.
Yeah, he didn't say whose record of achievement it was. Probably not his.
He's got into a few others.
Some guy called Richard. Oh, I've got it though. You know what I mean?
I think that next time we meet at the NEC, we should bring our record of achievements with us. We should all stand there with our record of achievements. Yeah. I think that'd be a great picture. That would, wouldn't it?
What? Yeah. It was your resume, wasn't it? Which is weird why you had a resume when you just left school. Chip chop weekends. It's not really.
Yeah, I did a survival weekend at school and had that as a certificate. And yeah, you could also.
I don't even think I can remember what's in there. I'll have to try and dig it out. But yeah, it weren't worth taking a job interview. I know that.
No.
Adam, are you shirtless in bed with your cologne on?
Wow. You splash
now we know what Gab thinks about.
Feel free to PM the answer, Adam.
Jumpy says shaving cream fights were a staple at the last day of school. We all had our bags checked, and I had some hid, but it hid in my training. Oh. Oi, oi! I'm Miss Detty.
Oi, oi.
Hello, Miriam. It's ladies' night tonight. Kat, Georgie, Detty, Miriam. Brilliant.
Yeah, Miriam.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Enfield is an hour away. So,
oh, nice.
That's where they make the guns in it. Enfield rifles and all that must be.
Isn't there a football team, Enfield? Isn't there a football team? Enfield United?
There's an Enfield just outside of Manchester in there. Sure there is.
I'm not sure. Not sure, sir.
I'm not sure.
It's North London way. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see all the football talk's gone quiet now because it's end of season now, isn't it? So we're not talking football now. I know.
No. Yeah. Well, we will be next week. Euro start next week.
Might be straight after this.
Yeah.
Straight after this.
Oh God.
That's right. There's a Spurs Liverpool. Can't wait.
Oh God, that would put that up on TV. Oh dear.
Well, I don't actually. I mean, I might be wrong here, but I'm assuming it's not specifically just to discuss end of season for Spurs and Liverpool. I'm assuming it's an all-round thing, but that's just their teams that they follow, so that's why they've put them badges on there.
But yeah.
I'm assuming anyway.
But we all get het up if someone else talks about our football. You and Si are the worst for it.
That's why I'm staying away. That's why I'm staying away from it, because I'm too sensitive about my team.
Sorry.
I've lost so many friends because of it.
It's funny because I go all the way through the season going Everton are shit. But the minute somebody else says it, how dare you? What are you talking about?
Mate. It's like anything when you think about it, innit? Because I'll have a pop at my. I mean, look, as a Spurs fan, I'm used to disappointment, and I'll have a go at my team all the time, every week. But if someone else says to me, "Spurs are crap," what?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's domestic.
Yeah, it's said to Rachel. It's like when you have a pop at the new Star Wars stuff. That Star Wars film was crap. That one's crap. The new Star Wars is crap. Someone else says Star Wars is crap. I'm in. I'm stuck into it. I'm like, what? I can say it. You can't.
Yeah. Did I see a little trailer today? They've done another trailer today, and it's saying it's going to be shown on Tuesday night now or something instead of Wednesday.
Gerald's been to see it. Gerald's been.
They were showing it in. They're showing it on the cinema or something. Like
Gerard went and I messaged him and said, well, how was it? And he said it was great. He loved it. So fingers crossed it is going to be good. I mean, it's like I've said before, we don't want it to be shit. We want it to be good. Do you know what I mean? It's just, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it was only 2 episodes in it. So
I looked into it. I could get the cheap Disney Plus again for $4.99 with adverts. I thought I might just get it for a month or 2 and just watch it. Just watch it.
We're talking the Acolyte now.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Has it started?
Next Tuesday or Wednesday it's on.
How is it? Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'll give it a go, but I'm not expecting much.
Yeah, I'm just going to subscribe for a couple of months, watch it, and then I cancel it again. Yeah. So.
Purely because I'm a Carry On Moss fan. I do like it, but
yeah.
Lads, guess who's here?
There was something in the air that night. The stars were bright.
Rolando! Oh, absolutely brilliant. Good old Rolando. Hello, everyone. Driving.
Whoa. Always driving. Does he ever stop driving? Yeah.
No, he's always driving. Yeah, you're right. I went to a really good toy fair in Perthshire last weekend.
Perthshire. Oh, yeah. You bought loads of Action Force, didn't you? I saw the pictures.
I saw his pictures of his G.I. Joe vintage that he bought today on Instagram. He had snake eyes, and what's the wolf? Old Timber Wolf, is it something? And
yeah, Timber, I think. Is it just Timber?
Timber, yeah. Timber the Wolf, yeah. Hi, Matt. You guys pop.
There you are.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, it's only Oval's only 30, isn't it? Yeah.
Sandown is about an hour and 15 minutes from me. The closest toy fair to me is Enfield, which really is 1 hour.
Right. Yeah. Well, you can go to a toy fair most weeks at this time of year. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong where I am. Like I say, Doncaster, but I never seem to go to it. It's the closest one, an hour away.
Yeah.
Well, might have to go next month.
It's funny, isn't it? Because
Smithfield and DTM, we went to Bolton.
Yeah,
Bolton toy fair. That was a good one. That was pretty good.
Is it mostly die-cast size? Someone told me it's mostly die-cast stuff there.
I heard that as well, but I think it was. There was a lot of die-cast there, like there is, but there was a lot of stuff. But I bought loads of little minifigures, and it was a good toy fair. It was quite good.
Yeah. I've seen a few videos of Shepton, so it looks like more die-cast, but we're just going to have a nose and see what it's like, and then we'll make, But you can't just judge it from one visit. You got to go a couple of times, haven't you? And then you get an idea if it's worth going all the time or not. So
you see,
Sandown's a bit like that, hit and miss. Where Sandown can be full of die-cast at some points, and sometimes it's overflowed with others. And
definitely. I think I think the more modern, the 80s and retro, it's taken over now. It's fair. It is definitely taken over. There's less and less die-cast, definitely. So,
DTR. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
And Dave says, burn all the Funkos.
Burn them.
Burn them.
Burn. In the future, when we need them to start, we can just use them.
I got a Doncaster in June, and it's on the other. Right, okay, but let me know. I'll tell you what, bikers, if you go in, let me know. Yeah,
it's only 15 minutes. Yeah, okay, we can go to Mistakes for a cuppa. 15 minutes away. That's it.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave. Martin, hi, Dave. Chippo, good old Chippo's here.
Yeah, Chippo.
Chippo is here.
Oh, yeah.
Right, let's have a look. The North, what's that? North Weald. Where's North Weald? It's funny that you all these places and you're like, where?
North? Is that really North? Is it North? Or is it sort of like, North?
Funkos are not so much for collectors, Redmond says. They are for people who know a collector. That's actually a good point.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people
because if you see a Funko and it was Star Wars, somebody in the family could go, "Oh, love Star Wars. We'll pick you that up."
I think that's exactly how it works, Si. Yeah.
I think he's right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So near it yet so far. I hate Funkos because they are everywhere.
Yeah, they are.
But is that not what we want, though, Biker? I mean, we always say that, don't we? Because remember, when we were kids, all the Star Wars was the same as Funkos, wasn't it? Side, they were always in the off-license or in the co-op.
But my point was this, right? We were so lax with Star Wars figures. You got them out the packets. They were ripped open within seconds if you're getting in with them. There was hundreds. Your friends had them. You were never short of a Stormtrooper if you run out. And Funko seemed to be like that a lot. But whereas you look at Star Wars now, forwarded 40 years, well, some of them Funkos going to go the same way. I think they are. I think you're going to be looking at 20, 30 grand Funkos. I really do.
Do you? Yeah, I don't know. At the moment, I guess the good thing about Funkos at the moment is the majority of them are mega affordable, aren't they? I mean, what are they, like 10 quid? You go into Entertainer, you see a lot of them for 5 quid.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, you still don't know which are going to become desirable in time.
My missus isn't very happy because she goes into Entertainer and they don't sell Harry Potter in Entertainer because they're a Christian-based company, so they won't sell. Yeah, so they don't sell witchcraft stuff, so they don't sell any Harry Potter stuff in.
Right.
She goes in and goes, but Smiths sell them, but there's not many in there.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Star Wars stuff in Entertainer these days.
No,
stuff in there. But there was some. I mean, I put in the group. They had a lot of vintage collection. Doing that Lola toy. I mean, I don't know if the original price was 90 quid. That's just what it's on the ticket. Is that what they were?
It was.
Yeah, I remember it being there.
15 quid. So I thought I'll put pictures on there, and if anybody wants one, I can grab one. But I don't think
I'm nearly tempted to get one, but just the legs on it put me off. It doesn't have legs in it, does it? It just flies, doesn't it? So,
27,000 Funkos. Wow.
How long have they been going for, Funkos? It feels like they've been going forever.
I think if I'm right, the first 1 and 2, I think Funko number 1 and number 2 were both Batman. I'm sure if I'm right, I think they were both Batman figures.
Isn't there a documentary on them somewhere? Isn't there a documentary on how they got created? Something, I think the company who created them. I'm sure there is.
Do you remember them videos that were going around for ages on TikTok where people were like cutting the heads off Funkos and making out there was stuff inside them, like there's something in the brain and they were pulling out things? You know, I remember that. It was a big thing on TikTok for at least
I don't use TikTok, so.
No. Yeah, people were cutting open the heads of Funkos and inside there was something inside, but they were just set up. Do you know what I mean?
So they are. If you want to watch Tottenham and Spurs and Liverpool and
you don't. You don't want to watch Captain Fishfinger and Sausage Man, so you don't want to watch them, do you? So
he goes in a landfill. Did they?
Yeah.
Is it a sports ball thing, Adam? Nice to see you, buddy.
I like.
Feel free to overrun, Shabby.
Yeah, we will. We might finish this.
Charming, Stuart Adam, eh? Charming.
Half past 10, maybe. Yeah.
Don't worry, lads. Me and Ty can have a good chat about trains at the end of this. We can go on to half 10 easy.
Me and Shabby are going to have a 10-minute break in a minute, and we're just going to look at our phones while these two have a chat. So.
Well, yeah, on behalf of me, Matt and Tez and CSR lads, did you two forget you were on?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
The best part of that was, like I said before we came on the way, Matt just picked up his phone and went, forget it. I'll just...
literally, yeah, I did.
What did he say last week, Matt? That it was just all about. It was Tim going through his Tanty 4 stuff, and Matt goes, "Oh, I can see straight through your back passage."
Yeah, and then Dave goes in and comes. Oh, Max, squeeze one more in.
He wants to change his name from Zero Hunter Toys to Carry On Matt, doesn't he? Carry On Matt.
Tim, it went straight over Tim.
I know. That's
our humour is so different to the Americans. So it just.
It was just the way you did it, deadpan. Oh, I can see straight through your back pack. Oh, brilliant. Season 1 of Game of Thrones came out. I bought the first wave for $9.99. About 12 years later, I pulled them out of storage and sold them all for 40 to 50 each. Wow. So there is money involved, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
All
hail Captain Rex is worth a lot of money. The first Captain Rex release or something is worth a lot. It's like an exclusive or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Let's have a look.
I've
Here we
heard
go.
that.
Mando, after 2 weeks, I've got 2 questions. Yeah, they are hard though. Some of them I was like, how what was one last week? How many miles did
I've never
I was like,
to be honest, I've never watched that fully through that film. I've never watched it. Never watched Never Ending Story properly.
I love that film. The second one.
I think I have, but a long time ago. But
I've never
watched it.
I'd rather
Let's have a look. Jace loves Funko Pops, especially ones gifted to him at the NEC. That's the thing about some people really like. I agree with what Luke said. I'm not going to sit there hating him. I don't collect him, so it's
I
know some people really don't. I don't have necessarily anything against him. They're just not for me. I don't collect them, no, but I tend to get them off people.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Hey, Rob, everyone's saying hello to each other. Stu has been a genius introducing the wheel to pick up movie topics each week. Well, I say that, but we all know it's George. It's Georgie, isn't it? Let's be honest.
She's done most of the questions,
How big are your muscles? Oh, how big are your muscles?
Not very big at the moment.
I'm going to keep it under the screen level so nobody can really see.
He's just done celebrities, hasn't he? I watched 10 minutes of it. It was pretty funny, to be honest.
He had a painted face the other day. He had a Joker face, painted face or something in his video. I thought, what the hell? What's he doing?
Good old big, strong, brilliant. Let's have a look. I'm getting down here. Hi, Win. Hey, Shabby, Si, Matt, and Guest.
Oh, Win.
Luke.
Look at that, and Guest.
See, he's still making videos.
Tell me you don't know who I am without telling me you don't know who I am.
My guest.
Hi, Shabby.
You ever go walking down the street and you see something you know, but you can't remember the name? They go, "Hey, Luke." You go, "All right, mate."
Right. Sorry, guest.
Can you imagine when it's finished? Matt messaged me, "Oh, it's lovely to have Lee on." Lee, who's Lee? Brilliant. Everyone is saying hello. Winner's got a big mug of coffee and he's chilling out watching these 4 big celebrities on mic. Well, you only know 4.
Coffee at this time, like Win. You're going to get to sleep.
You mean 3?
Is it decaf, Win? Are you drinking decaf?
I don't know anything about anime. Absolutely nothing. Do you,
sausages? I know a little bit.
Nothing at all.
I know a bit about manga.
Jason, you keep making them videos, kid. You keep filming what you're filming.
Yeah,
I like them.
I know me 80s and 90s manga when I used to watch when I was a younger. I used to watch, and of course I like some of the stuff I've got. Yeah, not much. But
what makes me happy is that you all grew up on manga. You just grew up on the Western style of it. That's all. You had Transformers, you had Thundercats, you had all of them. Ulysses, Battle of the Planets. You know, you've actually watched more manga than what you give yourself credit for.
Yeah.
He's smart. That size, not just a good-looking lad. He knows what he's talking about.
Like Ulysses, isn't it? Ulysses. That was very.
Ulysses was a great theme tune as well.
My favorite cartoons, Ulysses.
Yeah. I also like the City of Gold theme.
Yeah, City of Gold.
Yeah, that was a good intro, wasn't it? Yeah,
brilliant.
Children of the sun.
Quality.
Yeah, wasn't it French as well? Like, because Ulysses was French, wasn't it, originally? It was Ulysses French.
Ulysses 31 or something.
Ulysses 31 was French. It was done by,
What the France? It was French, you're right, Matt.
I look at the box sets, they're like 60 quid to get all the Ulysses box sets.
Is it really?
Worth it, though.
Yeah.
So you've got it.
Cool to know. Thanks for coming in. Cool to know. That's awesome of you.
Cool to know.
Oh, look at that. I still have my graduation cap. I rented a gown. You see, I said that. Can you rent gowns? Everyone looked at me as I was a cheap bastard. You know what I mean?
There you go. You could have saved some money there, Shabby.
You're only going to use it once, aren't you?
Just get a black sheet and cut it up and just use that.
The thing is, though, it's like it was a prom about 2-3 weeks before, and that cost an absolute fortune as well. I'm like, bloody hell, Shabby ain't made
very expensive in America, isn't it? Very expensive.
And again, that'll be a dress that's probably going to get worn once, is it?
Exactly. So when we do that section in USR, so what did you buy this week? Shoes, purse, 2 dresses, gown.
Having children in America is expensive, anyway, isn't it? So because you got to pay for all your medical when you have
everything. I tell you what it does though, and I don't know whether there'll be Americans in the chat.
Expensive children.
When you're on the playground in England, you didn't give a shit. Do what you have to do and all that stuff. But over here, you can tend to like, don't walk up that ladder. It's only about that because you're thinking to the back of your head, it's got to cost me a bloody fortune if she breaks a leg or something like that.
The accidents,
believe it.
It's weird.
I mean, not that I want to get into it, but you have private medical insurance, do you, Shabby?
Yeah.
But does it not cover everything?
No.
You have to pay for
Does
stuff.
it?
So what's the point of it?
No. Right. I'll give you an example. I twisted my knee playing football. Right. I played Sunday League over here for CBSA when I was in Virginia, and I twisted my knee big time. And I thought, I've done something. You know when you know you've done something.
Yeah.
I thought I'll go to the doctors for it. Go to the doctors. I get first of all, I've got to pay a $35 copay, even though I'm on insurance, right? So $35 copay is actually to get into the hospital. Right, so then they give you a form, then you've got to sign it all through with your medical and everything. You sat there with your knee battered, and you've got to go through all that, right? Then you've got to pay for the actual prescription that the doctors give you. So in other words, and then you're thinking to yourself, well, hang on a minute, I've got a copay here. I've just paid for that prescription, right? But I'm on insurance. Yeah, but it doesn't cover this, it doesn't cover. And you're like, oh man, it's the same as a car. You know, if your car got burnt out, with your insurance,
you got to pay
the excess, haven't you?
Excess, yeah.
And loopholes. Yeah. Oh, you're not covered for that.
No, loads of loopholes, mate.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, they are. So look at that, 87 geeks strong graduated.
Oh.
I just saw his lad though as well. His lad's the same age as Arsuki, and his lad's just graduated, and I saw his pictures and so forth. It's a nice day. Hey, Delvian, how are you, pal?
Hi, buddy.
I did have 2 mics, but sadly did not work. But now on step 2, bought my brothers. So let's see how tomorrow. What are you going to sing for us or something?
Got wireless mics.
They look posh. His new mic.
No, the end. Oh, listen to Jason.
Were they wireless mics? Were they? Were they the ones you clip in?
Let's have a look. I was trying to be good, Luke. You brought up schools. It's your fault, Luke. That's up, Mark Delvian. Here we go. Gonna watch Furiosa, Mad Max. Well, this is the thing I was going to talk about, and like I say, I'll put the link in the chat about it soon. So, but Matt, you've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah, I saw it last Friday. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it because I'm a Mad Max nut, so I like all those things. So, but a lot of people are saying it's not, it's not as good, but they shouldn't have done a prequel. But I loved it. I thought it was great. So
I'm going off you, Matt. I'm going off you. I know you all love the Mad Max and stuff, so if you say it's going up, I know I'm going to enjoy it because I love Fury Road. That was my film of the year. When we came out of the cinema seeing that, I turned to Dylan and I said, "That is the film of the year." I said it was amazing. So I was really looking forward to Furiosa.
Some of the little bits. There's a couple of dodgy bits of CGI, but I didn't really. I was just not on a big screen. It looked absolutely amazing. It's big scope again, big scope like June 2. A lot of big scope. Big, yeah.
Well, this is the
thing. I've seen any of the Junes. Not seen any of them. Just gonna have to get down to them.
You know what? Yeah, I've not seen the June films.
So this is what I want to. This is what I wanted to talk to you all about. So the cinema, right? So in America. I'll just put a picture. This is a picture of the cinema in America, which is right there.
Oh, is it? All right, okay. Oh, look at that. Our faces on it.
All right, okay.
Right. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I've been, for the past year or so, and I understand the strikes and I understand everything else. But I wanted to talk to you a lot about it. And like I say, put a link in the chat. Is because it seems as though cinema is dying. Memorial Day weekend in America, this is your big tentpole blockbuster movie start off, right? Yeah. This is the first time in nearly 40 years that no one barely went to the cinema. Do you know what I mean? It was like they made about 30 million over a 4-day weekend. Usually, these are your big movies, like your Marvel movies and everything else comes out and you're up to 200-300 million. I think Furiosa made 35 million.
Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah. And the second one to that was a Garfield movie, which, you take your kid. Usually they'll do a kids movie like that as well, so families will go. But also as well, Disney World on Memorial Day was empty. I watched Adam LaRue and I watched a couple of other lads saying that Disney World made no money on what is it at all. So there's a lot of reasons why things like this work, and there's a lot of reasons why things don't. But I wanted to talk to you a lot and say, when was the last time you got excited or about going to the movies? Do you see what I mean? And seeing a big movie.
Well, I mean, the last time me and Rachel, when we first started seeing each other, we used to go to the cinema quite a lot. Where we are now, we've got a local cinema literally in the town that I live in. It's a bit naff, a bit rubbish, but the price generally reflects that it's not the most grand cinema in the world.
Yeah,
we can drive about 40 minutes to the outskirts of Hull, and they have a big Cineworld, and they have a view where you can get these bloody luxury seats or whatever. But we rarely go to the cinema now because when me and Rich started seeing each other, and we're only talking maybe 13, 14 years ago, it was a damn cheap night to go to the cinema.
Yeah,
where I was, you could get a ticket for a £5. You go for something to eat, and it was fine. You go to the cinema now, and I'm talking the same cinema. It's £12 a ticket.
Yeah. $18 for me. $18 per
12 quid a ticket. So once you've paid for two of you, that's 25 quid straight away. Obviously, we've got to get there, and then if you get any snacks while you're there, I mean, you're talking a bag of M&Ms is like £3.50.
Yeah.
A Coke is the same. By the time you've finished, you're looking at 40 to knocking on 45 quid just to go to the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
So now you kind of just go, what bother?
Nah. And then it's watching all the stuff they're giving you today, which is garbage. Is it worth that sort of money?
Well, you see,
this is it. We have been to the cinema the last time I went to the cinema was only a few weeks ago, but that was to watch Phantom Menace, because it just come back out of the cinema, and I've not seen it at the cinema.
I didn't go and see it.
I just went because I wanted to see a Star Wars film at the cinema.
Yeah.
So we went and we enjoyed it, and we only went locally, so it weren't particularly expensive. But if we wouldn't, generally the cinema in Hull is miles better, much better, bigger screen, better seats, blah blah blah. But you'd be talking 50 quid almost to go, and I paid 12 quid to go. So. But we don't generally go to the cinema now, and I think that's because generally, if we go to the good cinemas just out of town, it is so expensive.
Yeah.
So we don't bother.
The thing is, cinemas are so big, aren't they? They're so big.
Yeah. They're usually cold now as well, and
they look so empty because they're so
we've
big.
All got 4K tellies, and we've all got 50 inches, and we've all got everything's in HD and Dolby sound, and you can pause it when you want. There's no knobhead messing about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like. Is it worth going to the cinema now?
Well, we streaming over here, right? So the streaming I have is Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Paramount. I've got so many streaming things over here, and we've got into that thing exactly what you guys have saying, where if I took my kids and everything else, like we all went to see the Phantom Menace, right? So I took myself, Jen, took the 3 kids, took my Suki's friend. So we're looking at about $150 straight away. You know what I mean? Then you want to go out with something to eat, and they want to do stuff like that. That I don't mind, because that's what you said, Luke. Phantom Menace, I went to see it 25. It's nice, Return of the Jedi and so forth. But there's movies out there that are giving me that thing now, and it's to do with streaming as well, where I've turned around and I've gone, well, I can either spend 150 quid doing all this and then want to go out for something to eat afterwards, or I can wait 2 months for streaming because I'm already paying for streaming. It's like Dune 2. Matt went to see it. Oh, it's awesome, Shabby, and I'm definitely going to see it. It's already on HBO Max. You can already watch it.
Watch it in the comfort of your own home. When we went to see the Phantom Menace, there was only about 10 other people in the cinema, but sure enough, about 4 people, I think they were there on their holidays, 4 people sat directly behind us in the very, very, they could have sat anywhere. Sat straight behind us, and one of them took a phone call. And when I say that, I don't mean took a phone call and took it out. He took a phone call in the cinema while we were watching the movie. Just sat right behind us. Just sat speaking.
It's not worth the money anymore. It's not worth it. And the films you're getting today are garbage. They're not worth spending £50 to £100 to take your family to go and see. They're insulting. They're not. It's just half the time what you're getting is like, oh, wait for it to come. When was the last time you rushed out to see a Marvel movie, apart from saying, oh, I'll see it on Disney Plus? I'll be on
Endgame.
Endgame.
Yeah, I saw Endgame, yeah.
And that was
I was thinking of people. You can't really expect the cinema to be packed. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think they are dead,
Yeah,
they probably are. And the thing is, and that's kind of when because we go to the cinema now, and I go there thinking, I hope it ain't busy.
Yeah,
because I don't want to be surrounded by people that are taking phone calls or chatting or.
Yeah, there was probably about 8 people in the cinema, but then I did go and see it like in the morning on Saturday. Or was it Friday morning? I went and saw it. I always see them in the morning if I can. So that's the thing. I've never been to an evening showing because it's just too. Yeah, I can't deal with that. Yeah,
it's weird though in a way, because when was the last time I was shocked how many people were in Return of the Jedi last year and Phantom Menace this year. But when was the last time you actually went into a cinema queuing? Or it was packed?
Never.
I can't remember.
Independence Day, probably. That was a long time ago. Independence was like the last big film I remember queuing for.
So post collectibles.
I don't know if I've ever queued at a cinema. I don't know if I ever have.
Yeah.
No,
it seems to me, lads, that the fuss is made on the other way around now. It's like there seems to be so much bias and putting you off something before you've actually gone to see it or even watched the trailer, that I believe that's why queues of cinemas are now dead and stuff, where you get put off things so much now before you've even seen anything of it, with people saying, "Oh, I've seen it and it's full of this and they've done that," and that thing's become rife on YouTube, and it does in a lot of ways put you off, doesn't it? Yeah. I heard so much about Indiana Jones, that I was like, I'm not watching the Dial of Destiny. It's not for me. Raiders is my favourite film. But when I actually got around to watching it, I was like, that wasn't so bad. It wasn't like
it was okay.
Everyone's ringing. It was actually okay. It wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah, I think that's for last year. I went to see that indie, and I was like, I've got to see it in the cinema, and I enjoyed it. Yeah,
Yeah, we waited for it to come out on Disney Plus or Prime, or whichever one it was on. We watched it streaming.
Got your name as well, Luke.
So is that Lee? He saw like that. What was Larry?
I'm like, yeah.
Good old Bosky's here. But that's the thing. I want to get down to specifics here. There's a few things. It's like every one of you has said something that I agree with. The movies aren't as good anymore. The price is too expensive. They're this, but. They always talk about this thing where it's like, does the progressiveness and the wokeness and all that tune into it? Because you like what Si just said, you hear about stuff and you think, when was the last time it was a female-led? Wasn't a female-led thing. When was the last time they put all the agendas to one side and just made a good story? Does that kind of thing put you off as well, or you're like, not really?
No. It's storylines. Being an anime fan and being a fan of all pop culture, you can get behind any character if the story's written good. Lord of the Rings is about 4 little dwarves and an old man going on an adventure. Yeah, it's unbelievable, one of the greatest stories ever written. You understand what I mean? You can get behind any character. It doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter what colour or creed or anything.
Well, I mean, I don't... Sorry, go on, Matt.
I'd say Furiosa really is. They should have called it Dementos. The baddie, because Chris's what's her name's character. It's the main thing is about him really, and she's like kind of she says hardly anything in the film, so she's only got about 30 lines in the whole film. But he's such a cool character in it. When you see him playing a villain and playing Thor, it's great. So,
but it's sad, really, because all I've heard is nothing but everybody loves Furiosa. It's a great movie. You said it, Matt. You said it was awesome and all that sort of stuff.
It's not as action packed as Fury Road. There's a good bit of action in it, but if you just love your cars and stuff, it's just just love that. Just and it's
sorry, Matt. Go on, mate.
No, just saying they just definitely make to tell you that this is set in Australia just by. You see the beginning of the world, it's spinning and it just zooms and it goes to Australia and it says, this is in Australia, which you never got that from the first 3 films. People that watched it like, oh, this is Australian accents, but they never sort of said it's Australia, have they? So it could be anywhere in the world. So
I think movies now. I mean, look, I watch plenty of modern movies. I watch plenty of movies in general, but I just think movies as a whole, and I suppose it's an obvious thing to say, has changed massively different. When I was growing up, when you guys were growing up, it kind of felt, and people in the chat might shoot me down, but it kind of felt like movies were made for a specific audience. So you got a horror movie, it was an 18. That was it. It was an 18. You got Commando or Predator, or they were 18s. That's who we're aiming this at. You can make a horror film now, and they'll stick a 12A on it. And you just think, well, movies were specifically made for a certain audience back then. This is who we're aiming it at. We're not aiming it at kids to go with their parents. We're aiming at people 18 or above. I'm going to make it. If we're going to stick an 18 on it, and that's what it's going to be. Whereas now, how often do you see a modern movie that's an 18?
Yeah, that's true.
I know there will be some, but not many.
But not mainstream.
We got a Jason versus Freddy film that was a 15 or a 12A or something.
we got the Deadpool Wolverine film coming out, but they've said they've interfered with that, haven't they? And I know Ryan Reynolds is really fighting to keep it R rated, but because Disney are involved and all that, he's struggling. I know he's had a lot.
All they care now is let's get bums in seats, numbers. Let's make it so that parents can take their kids and box office numbers. Whereas back in the day, it was a specific. This is who we're aiming at. And I'm sorry, kids, but it's not you.
I think people are saving their money to see Deadpool Wolf. That's the film everyone wants to see, innit? I think that is the film of the year everyone wants to see, and they're saving their money and they're going to go and see that film, which is a shame, really. So, because I'm looking, what's the next film I want to see? Alien Romulus. I want to give that a go. So that's my next big film I want to see.
But,
so but
you want to go to the cinema to see it, though, Matt?
Yeah, I'm not bothered with Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm not
bothered. I'm not bothered. I agree with you there. I'm not.
I thought the last Deadpool film 2 was a bit naff, so didn't do it for me.
Gab says 2009 was the last time he went to the movies and saw the reboot of Star Trek. VTR says cinema is dead because Hollywood is dead. He's got a point though, really, isn't it? I mean, it's like all those strikes last year. Like we all cared. We weren't bothered because the normal lads also are like, well, you're not making good stuff anyway. You're not making anything for me to go, oh, I stand by the this and that. All you wanted was more money, and now they're losing it all hand in fist. You know
have you seen George Lucas? George Lucas just did an interview recently, and he's just been saying that Hollywood is dead. When they don't want to risk money, they don't like risking money on new things. They want to keep it same, don't they? That's why they're doing so many remakes all the time.
Exactly right. I mean, and I think that's what it is. I think, because I was thinking, maybe people are getting put off through the message and all that. That's true, but kind of. But it's like what we've all said. I think we've all made valid points that sometimes it's just so expensive, and there's nothing, I can't remember that. I don't know whether YouTube has done it though. When you watch a lot of people on YouTube and someone's just hammering something left, right, and center, does that kind of put you off as well, or do you always make your own mind up?
No, generally. I mean, I tend to listen to people's, opinions or views or whatever. But ultimately, I just think, this is going to sound really uppity, but I don't trust other people's opinions. Because what I think is an amazing film, you or Matt might think is a terrible film. So you listen, you don't go to see something based on someone else's opinion. You don't really know what their film taste is or what their standards are. So I'll always sort of go, well, look, all right, they think it's terrible, but I'm going to go see it and I'm going to make my own mind up.
Yeah.
So no, nobody will put me off if it's a film I want to see, regardless.
So even our Darren's saying, look, 50 quid. And in this day and age, it's like, I don't know what inflation is like in England. I don't live there, but over here, it's gone ridiculous how much everything is. And so, remember, the cinema is, and now I'm the same as Matt. I have no problem going to the cinema on my own. Do you know what I mean? But when you got your kids and there's a big family kind of thing, you can't really say, well, I'm going on my own. I'm not taking it.
I'm going on my own.
So I'll put a link in the chat. If anyone wants to come on and tell us their theory or what they think, come on. It'd be awesome to have you on.
I think you're right though, Shabby. I think what they're trying to do now is rather than risk a completely new idea and a completely new movie and risking it bombing, they're just trying to tap into past hits, aren't they? Top Gun, all remakes and stuff, just all sequels or whatever. What was massive back in the 80s or early 90s? Let's tap into that. Let's do a revamp of that rather than risk something brand new.
It's like when we were very, very lucky all of it, because all right, there's about 5 years difference, I would say, between all of us. Do you know what I mean? We're all roughly the same age, and we're very lucky with the era we grew up in. And it's exactly what you just said. If you look back at the movies in the 80s and the 90s, so many different things constantly. I could turn around and say to you, RoboCop, but then I could also turn around to you and say Tombstone. Oh, awesome. There was so many different genres and so many different, things. And it's the same as toys as well, really. When we were kids, there were so many toy lines that were competing against each other. But now, I agree with you, it's like just IPs, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, well, we'll do this or we'll do that because that's what people like. Do you think that's what puts people off then as well, from going like, oh, another one of these?
I think it's the strategies in movies as well at the moment. I mean, you're spending all this money to go and sit there, to go and see a film that you've waited 2 years to see from a 20-second clip from the last movie 3 years ago, to just sit there for 2 hours waiting for the last 20-second clip for what you're going to see in another 2 years. And I think that's just sort of wishy-washy movies out the way. Like, nobody was really interested in what they were watching because they'd spent that much long waiting for it, because a 20-second little clip after the last movie showed you that you're always constantly thinking of that last 20 seconds. What's next? You're not really taking in what you're watching. Do you know what I mean? That's in my opinion. Movies today just wishy-washy. When I was a kid, and your mum and dad would take you to a video shop and they'd say, right, go and grab a couple of movies. You'd get one that was new that you wanted to see, but you'd never, ever in your head go, oh, that was from 1982, I'm not going to get that. Or that's from 1986. Or you looked at that cover and it looked great, like a martial arts movie or something. You took it home, didn't you? Movies were like valuable to us. And it's like today they don't seem to be valuable at all. They just don't.
Yeah.
What do you think, Adam? What do you think?
What about cinema and movies in general?
Yeah,
I put quite a lot of comments in the group. I think there's quite a few reasons. Like some people have already mentioned most of them. Like, I think Hollywood's definitely out of ideas. They won't risk any money on anything new or anything out there. Something what a lot of people don't realise is they used to get half the income from DVD sales. So basically, there's no DVD sales anymore. So what would happen is when a film came out, say it made 100 million, they would then make another 100 million on DVD sales.
Yeah, sometimes they make more money on the physical. Yeah,
and because they've lost that, they are basically always just trying to break even. So they're never going to make anything which is a bit out there, unless they make it really on the cheap and it's a low budget. And that's why it's a risk and reward thing, and the reward they see as not being great enough to risk anything, and that's all it is.
Yeah. First of all, we've got nearly 70 people in the chat, so thank you all so much. That is awesome. That's really cool of you. Biker makes a good point here, and the reason I think he makes a valid point is because, like I've just said, when I went to see the Phantom Menace, it was busy. It was the first time, because we've been to see a few movies and I've taken pictures and put them on Instagram. Like, there's nobody here. Do you know what I mean? It's like weird for a big major movie and so forth. But he's right. Would that entice you to go back? Or as long as they could do things like, I know this is hard to say because I also watched the thing where people were saying, well, the theatre takes half the money and so does the film thing. So you can't really do movies for £6-7 because no one makes any money from it. But do you think that would work if you did movies from the 70s, 80s and 90s every week and you went to see it?
It's funny you say that, Shabby. Now, just round on the seafront where I live, we have what's called the Spa Theatre, and it's a really, really old building. Oh, well, it's been revamped now, but it's a really old building that has a cinema inside it.
Steve-O?
And it's been revamped now. And they've kept the cinema. They've got a cinema area, and then they have a big theatre and where they have stand-up comedy and stuff like that. And what they're doing is during the summer holidays now in the school, summer holidays, for 6 weeks, I think something like every Tuesday, Thursday, and maybe Sunday, they put daytime showings of classic films. And then, so I know the guy that does the social media for the Spa, and 1 week they had Big. The next week they had One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The next week they had Top Gun. The next week they had whatever. And he was posting on social media for the company, packed out every time for films that were 20, 30, 40 years old. Daytime showing, packed out. And you think, would it be packed out if they were putting new stuff on? I don't know. Maybe. But
I think most films are just not that interesting either. The new ones, they're just they're not that interesting at all. I think nostalgia is a big thing, isn't it? That's why we all talk about what we talk about, isn't it? So nostalgia is a big thing, and I think that's a lot to do with it. But going back to what you just said, Rob. Shabby, is I would go to the cinema no matter whether it's busy or not. It doesn't bother me. If I want to see a film, I'll go and see a film. And the last film I went and saw, which was really, really busy, was Top Gun. But I went at midnight, like I said in the comments. Wow. And that was rammed. And it was a really good atmosphere because people were there because they were obviously big, either Tom Cruise or Top Gun fans. They really wanted to see it. So it was 12 o'clock at night in the middle of London, but it couldn't have been busier, And I had someone come out with a microphone and went, oh, enjoy this special screening of Top Gun Maverick and all that. And they do it properly in London, like at Waterloo. IMAX Cinema, it's the biggest one in Europe. It's like the way to go. But that was, going back to Luke's point, I think I paid about £22 a ticket. But I didn't care because I think, you know, I don't go to the cinema that much, and when I do go, I want to go because I want to see a top film. So
the thing is, Adam, where you just said then, though, you go for that first night, and you get that buzz and the excitement, and everybody's banging on about it because they're all fans. When you think of films like Batman '89, and you think of films like this, all the way back in the day, it was like that for weeks, for months. You'd go and see the Phantom Menace, and people would be queuing for a week, and it wouldn't just be that one night. We'd be excited like 3 weeks later.
You wouldn't get no one spoiling it online, though.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get no one spoiling it online. And that's the thing. You wouldn't see any of these clips, any of these teaser trailers. I don't know about you guys. I had to look in the local paper for the times of the films. Like, you know, you couldn't even look online, couldn't even ring up your cinema. I had to look in the paper for the times of the film. So it's almost like you didn't really know what you were going to go and see unless someone said to you. I remember some kid at school telling me, oh, go and see RoboCop. My dad said some guy gets his face melted off and stuff like this. And I remember thinking, oh, that sounds amazing. But I couldn't get into RoboCop when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So I did have to wait until that came out on tape. But, you know.
I think films are released so fast, though, after the theoretical release now, is that's why people don't go back to the cinema again. Because let's be fair, you go and see a film and then a month later it's out. You can have it Blu-ray.
They all sell out to streaming services, though. You know, they're getting huge.
So you wouldn't really go back twice, would you? You wouldn't, because you'd be like, I'll go and see it, then I can see it again in a month. You don't. Yeah.
But that's because. Sorry, Shabby.
I'm just going to make sure. Can Gap hear us? Gap, are you on? Are you all right?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Gap. Yeah, perfect. Go on, Adam. Sorry, mate.
I was going to look at my paper. I got to look in my paper.
That's not how I said it, but okay.
Paper.
But no, all I was going to say is going back to Si's point. They're selling out to streaming services massively. They're taking massive money from the streaming services because they're not getting the money off of the DVD sales. So you're just going to wait until it comes out on streaming. Like, and this is a really big film. I'd do it, but I try and force myself to go to the cinema as well because I think it's a really bad thing as a human being to kind of sit too much in your house. Even if you've got a family, I think it's important to get outside and kind of go to the cinema and do things like that. It's too easy to become a bit reclusive and just go, I'll just wait until it comes out on the TV. I think that's what I think.
There's an element of truth to that, but I hate a busy cinema because I don't feel I can enjoy the movie. Yeah, because there's always someone. You've got a packed cinema. There's always some idiot rustling.
Oh yeah, true. Eating loudly.
You know, I just feel I don't enjoy the experience. So in the end, I think I'd rather wait.
Especially what you've just paid as well to get in, like you're saying. Especially what you've just paid. £7.50 it used to be for a bag of M&Ms at our Blackpool audience. £7.50 for M&Ms.
Back in the day, you'd sneak the food in because they wanted you to buy it, and you sneak it in. But now you can just walk in; they don't care. You just walk in with chocolate; they don't even stop you or anything. Back in the day, they used to go.
That one, the cinema used to blame that for that. Oh, we need to tell them at this price because that's how we make the money. I'm like, if I went for a double expensive watch, they don't give it in a plastic bag. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm going seeing something at 200 odd million quid's worth of product here.
I went in to see Furiosa. I went to see Furiosa with a wrapped in tinfoil.
Took his back lunch.
I did.
In your inside pocket, Matt.
I'm not eating that rubbish. Especially my son.
Do you know what? I've just got this. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen this. I've just got this image. Have you ever seen the scene where Mr. Bean? He's on a park bench to get his pack. There's a guy eating some sandwiches, and he starts bringing out like fish in a jar and killing them on the side and putting up a loaf. I've just got this image of Matt doing that in the cinema, just making his dinner.
I just he's proper teasing us, keeps popping in and out, don't he?
He loves popping in, doesn't he?
I think he's having issues. Well, Gap, what do you think it is, Gap?
I think that today everything is consumption, move on. It's not an event anymore. It's not something that all of your friends get excited that you want to go together with that camaraderie. And you know, to me, that's the biggest thing because it's consume, move on, and they're throwing so much stuff out there that's garbage. Even on the streaming services, you know, I've got Amazon Prime and I've got HBO Max, and I barely watch either one of them because it's just garbage and it's not eventful, you know. And like Adam said, he looked in the paper and you know, he looked in the paper for the times for the movies, and you know, so you know, it's no excitement that build up, you know.
Well, it's like what Kev's just said. Kev's just said now about Napoleon, right? On Apple TV, it actually gave you the date it's coming out. So it turned around and said it's in theaters now, but in 17 days it's on Apple TV. So I was like, well, you've just told me I don't need to go to the cinema to see it.
Not very good though, is it? That Napoleon's not supposed to be very good, is it?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was great, to be honest. I thought it was really good. But I wouldn't have paid to go to the cinema to see it.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of those movies. If it's sat home and it's on streaming, I'm like, fair enough.
Hi, Keith. But is it true though that the streaming services are all getting together and joining in America? They're different over here.
No, they won't do it. It's like, well, Sony was meant to buy Paramount, but then they said, well, but we're not going to keep it on. We just want the products of it. And they turned around and said they won't stream anymore. In a way, it was a nightmare with streaming because they turned around and said, oh, get rid of your cable and it will be nowhere near. It's only £7 here. It's only $15 there. But by the time we've added it all up, I'm up to over nearly 200 quid a month.
Yeah.
In streaming,
because Paramount over here is separate on Amazon. You have to pay for it separately. So
right. And MGM Plus and Showtime is on in America is on Amazon Prime too. I don't know if it is over there.
I think it's on Apple. I think it's on Apple over here, which is weird. So but
it's all the licensing agreements. But you know, I really think it's not an event anymore. And you know, of course, price is a factor, and all of you gentlemen have already said some very good things. So that would be my only thing: is it's not an event, nothing to look forward to, too expensive, you know. And they're, you know, the streaming services, you know, I don't know how they keep going. You know, honestly, you know, making profit the way things are going. And then Paramount just made a big mistake, in my opinion, by not going with Skydance, you know, and letting, you know, and Skydance, because Skydance has a great track record with some very good movies and stuff. And like somebody said earlier, they won't take the risk for something different. You know, I mean, you know, by the time I'm almost at my last breath, I'll see the preview for Star Wars Episode 99, you know, you know, or Back to the Future 120, you know, something, or Mean Girls 35, you know, or something.
I think
stupid.
I was going to cancel Paramount because I was hoping we're going to get we're not getting Yellowstone, are we? They're still waiting for the next Yellowstone.
November, it's filming in November, so you won't get it.
Star Trek Discovery is terrible. I just don't like that. So, you know,
are you looking forward to Holly Hunter?
Yeah.
What was the last film though? Oh, all right. Well, what's coming up where you have, like Matt said, Alien? But to me, there's not a film that's coming up that makes me want to go to the cinema.
Is it? I think it's Deadpool, and then it's the Bad Boys film, isn't it? But then is that going to really get?
I can't imagine that being any good.
I'm not interested in pretty much either of them.
No, I agree with Adam. There's nothing, and the thing is, I don't think I'm getting fatigued though. You know, when you read about superhero fatigue or Star, I don't think there's anything like that. I think basically it's just the stories aren't good. You know, and they keep saying stuff like, "Oh, look at this on his debut." Here he is. Oh, Jules is here.
I recognise that.
This is a very unique moment because I don't think, Jules, you don't come on camera much, do you? You don't do these much.
A camera show, that's what it is.
Is that what it is?
Are you squatting in the woods? I'm sorry.
He's squatting by his front door. He's having a sneaky fag.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's having a sneaky fag. Yeah.
If a bear goes there, I go there as well.
but Shabby, how about agenda tired? Are people agenda tired?
I don't know really, because you see, the thing about it is we've said on ZSR and all the lads have said we're not bothered about who runs it as long as the films go. We grew up with so many strong female empowered women and people of colour and all that. How many was Mother Apollo Creed and Lando and Leia and Red Sonja, and we could go on and on and on. That's never been an issue for any of us. And I can speak for all of us. I can't think of one person. Well, I'm not going to want to see that if it's a woman involved. I don't think it's that at all. I think it's the story itself. When you watch them and you're sat back and think, oh, you know, it's like now you read a synopsis about a movie or whatever, and it's the first this or it's the first time that, and it's the first. We're not interested in any of that, us lot. We just want a good story. Do you not think?
Yes, I agree.
I think as well, I would like. So I'm gonna. There's only one streaming service, and I know Matt will probably agree with me on this, and maybe even you, Shabby, that I think does try to be a bit different and has the money to take the risk, and that's Apple. Yeah, because some of Apple's stuff is really good and really out there and a bit left field, and and you can tell like that they're happy to take risks because they've got so much liquidity. They're like they're one of the most
got so much money behind them, haven't they?
Companies in the world. So I think they've got more spare cash than most third world countries put together. Like it's ridiculous. Like, you know, and,
do your numbers, Adam. Yeah,
I think they have, but I don't know them off the top. But this is the thing. I think so they can do, but a lot of the other ones, it's all about making money in the bottom line, and they just won't take the risk at all. They go for everything. They will have no disrespect to Mission Impossible, like Mission Impossible. They have Mission Impossible 54 because they know people will watch it. You know what I mean? Even if it's a 54th film of it, like, you know, or something stupid like that, they won't do something new. But like I said, Apple does. That's why I personally quite like Apple. But,
yeah. Jules, what do you think it is, Jules?
Not to be honest, I'm behind with the time with a lot of films. I've downloaded so many films lately. I haven't had the chance to watch them with work. I finally got around to watching June 1 Part 2 the other week. I've just got hold of Ghostbusters, is it Frozen Empire?
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
But again, I won't comment what streaming service I use.
He uses the dodgy one like the Irish people do.
Well, put it this way: it's DVD quality, but in a way, I'm still stuck in the 80s. When I watch a film, either on Netflix or through my Blu-ray player, sometimes the VHS sound quality is far better. I don't know if it's just my setup. And also, some of the films haven't been released in DVD format yet. So it's very hard to get hold of those. If not, again, there might be places to download and I haven't come across yet. I do fancy watching Fallout, but I haven't got around to watching that.
Really good. Really good.
Watch that.
Really good.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
It's interesting what you say there, though, Jules, about VHS sound being better. Weirdly, and Rachel's always said this, and I'm getting on board with it as well. I forever. I mean, I don't watch things in 4K or anything. Well, I don't buy like 4K DVDs, things like that. I watch things in Blu-ray and HD and all that. And I'm very big on. I want it to look amazing on screen. I want it to look as crisp as it possibly can, as vivid and as you know. I love. We watch films downstairs when watching the living room. Me and Rachel watching something together, and if it's a great picture, Rachel enjoys it less if the picture is in HD than she does if it is like VHS quality. She much prefers a VHS quality style picture than HD. She finds it difficult to enjoy a movie in HD.
Really?
My missus is the same way. I'll be sat there and I'll go.
Because that's how we watched them.
I go, it looks a bit dodgy. That my wife's like, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Just leave it on. You know what I mean? It's it's funny that.
I'm going around to that way. She enjoys it less. The better the picture is, because she's like, oh, it looks all weird. It looks like it's live, like it's happening right now. I want it to look a bit grainy, like we used to watch them. And she takes more enjoyment out of a worse picture than a HD picture. I'm getting on board with it.
That's the nostalgia, isn't it? Again, kicking back in, I think, isn't it? Which is so potent and strong. And but I love that. I agree. Like, it doesn't bother me as long as I can make up a picture. I'm not one who's like, it must be crisp as possible, but it wouldn't, you know, if it doesn't bother me either way, kind of thing. I watch films in the old-fashioned aspect ratio sometimes because they're really old. They haven't gone to widescreen yet,
gone to widescreen,
and stuff like that. It doesn't bother me. If the story's good enough, you're still going to watch it, aren't you?
That's what I mean. It's all down to story. It's like the lads were telling me to watch Star Trek 66. So I watched a couple of episodes and I loved them simply because the stories were good. My point in saying that is I don't need $500 million CGI, and I don't need this, and I don't need that. As long as it's a good story. Do you know what I mean? I mean, look at one of my favorite movies is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. This thing costs about $5 to make, but it's such a good story, and your nostalgia and everything else. It's like what Jonathan's saying here. I think a lot of people are just sick of prequels, sequels, and reboots. There's nothing. It's like Marvel. I like the Marvel movies. I do. I'm not slating them, but once you've seen one, you've seen all 21 of them, haven't you? Really? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know. And then what they're doing now is they're taking Iron Man and making Ironheart or Lionheart, whatever in it. They're changing the characters, but it's the same type of character. Do you think? And it's just funny that your big blockbusters now is always a Marvel or. Where's your Western or where's your heist? Where's your Heat and stuff like proper movies.
I think they're putting them in. They're putting them into TV shows, though. I think like Yellowstone. I've heard lots about Yellowstone.
Oh, Yellowstone's awesome.
And things like that. The films, the Marvel ones. There's a couple that stand out. I found some again are very generic, but like Thor Ragnarok, that's probably one of my favorite ones because of the
great film. I enjoyed that
Coliseum scene.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Can we speak to Keith before he goes again?
Okay.
Oh, please. Jesus Christ.
Evening all.
What's going on, Keith?
What's going on? Double volume all night. Sorry, guys. Schoolboy error. How are you doing? All right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Dogs going back, Keith's on. Look at that, Keith's back. So, Keith, tell us your thing. What do you think it is about movies and the cinema?
Movie cinema. When I was a kid, it was packed, massive queues. Loved it. Now we've got unlimited cards. Go there. Not many people. Very expensive.
Very expensive. I think that's the topic that we've all come across, isn't it? It's the expense of it all and how expensive it actually is. Yeah.
Just really Jumpy's comment at the bottom. That's funny.
They are out of ideas, aren't they? They are out of ideas, aren't they? YouTube's default to think they can make sure he's a hit. But that's the thing, are they hits much anymore? I mean, do you think Furiosa would have done well if it was another Mad Max movie, or do you just think people were?
It might have done slightly better if it was if he came back. Yeah, I think it might have. They should have just done one. Or if they got Mel Gibson to come back and do an older one, that would have been cool. I think. So
what did Joking win?
So I agree, Adam. But the same, I get to know a negative for families. TJC, what do you think it is?
I think it's mainly down to licensing.
Yeah.
Because when a local cinema near me, where we go quite occasionally, sort of, I take Jace especially to watch, obviously, for anything for him, is when they show a Marvel or a Disney film, the cinema makes next to nothing out of that for months because of the expensive licensing fees. So the cinema is pretty much not making anything out of you going for the first 3 months.
Got you. Yeah.
The knock-on effect as well is obviously cinemas pay business rates like any other company. Business rates are really expensive. So it's kind of like the cinemas have to pay their business rate. So they're going to not want to give the production company too much money. So it's all kind of a knock-on effect. It is all to do with money. And that's just the basic simple thing of it all. From the end user to the start point.
So, Martin says another thing back in the days that you had to wait 6 months to rent a movie after release. Now it's just in 2 weeks.
It's like a year. Sometimes a year.
Yeah. It used to be the X-Rental display shelf in Blockbuster.
Going to Blockbuster was a thing, wasn't it, as well? Going to Blockbuster was a thing.
Getting anything.
Yeah.
Well, this is another thing as well. In the UK, we didn't sometimes get a film at the cinema for 6 months or a year after the Americans got to see it as well, which is another thing.
Yeah. Why pay 20 quid to watch a cinema film when you can get a stream it in about 3 or 4 months? Yeah.
But do you think it's all up? Do you think like we've got like mega snobbing because we had like all these fantastic films in the 80s that now if nothing compares to it, they're like, no. And do you think it's also like that we haven't changed with these times enough? Or no?
It could be, but I also think like it's too easy to stay in. We've got like a few people mentioned. We've all got to a degree. We've all got massive TVs. We can all stream a film within about a week of it coming out of the cinema. So it's all too easy not to go. But I do agree. Unfortunately, we're of that generation where we had what we consider to be all the best films. Some people would say, mate, the 40s and 50s were the iconic age of Hollywood. But obviously, we're going to say the 70s, 80s, 90s, aren't we? So, you know.
Yeah. I am a little bit inside good, outside bad at times, though.
Yeah.
I am a bit inside good, outside bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, and I think that's a lot of people. I think, like I said, I don't know. I'm the same totally. Like I like my creature comforts. I like sitting at home and stuff like that, getting a cup of tea whenever I want to. But I do think it's important to kind of, you know what, I'm going to go. I take myself to cinema quite a lot, and it'd be so easy for me to sit at home because I'm like, oh, I've got to go to the cinema on my own. But I force myself sometimes because I'm just like, I think it's a good thing to do. Otherwise, you become too reliant on just sitting at home, too reclusive, in my opinion. But that's not you directly, Luke. I mean, in general. So like,
no. There's other people outside, so I like to see it.
Is that why they're releasing? Is that why they're re-releasing? Like, oh, come and see. I don't know. Was it Return of the Jedi or Alien? They brought Aliens out last year at the cinema again.
They're showing The Crow this weekend in the UK as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, before our cinema got shut down, I haven't paid for the cinema in 20 years because a friend of mine, James, he worked at the cinema and he used to always get into nothing and stuff. And we'd go and see all the, the new films and stuff. Within 3 days of them being out, and they were dead. No one was in there, for these brand new films. But every Monday, he showed a restored classic from Tron to RoboCop, Never-Ending Story, Highlander, and the cinema was packed every single Monday. And I thought to myself, is this because, these stories were really good and people have fond memories of them? Well, in 20 years, he's going to have fond memories of, like, Iron Man 2 or the Amazing Spider-Man 2 world. They're not love it. You know what I mean? It's... There's no... The soul's gone, I think. There's no love there for him anymore in the world.
Well, like Luke said earlier about local cinema, where they do, like, in the summer holidays, half terms, $2.99. You can watch all the classic films. Kids can go watch them and all that sort of stuff. And then they're rammed. You got all the people taking their kids. It's just rammed. But
are you guys getting a bit of a reverb here?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Let's just see.
I think someone's got like some feedback. I'm muting when I'm not speaking, so I don't know if that's causing a problem though. So.
Yeah, someone's got a bit of reverb going. It's a bit. Let's have a look.
Yeah, Nick's message me saying, "Tell them there's terrible sound coming."
I'm on mute now.
All right, Nick. All right, calm down.
But I also think, lads, I also think that we are a victim of not a victim, but of the times a lot of us have grown up in. Now, again, this is just my personal opinion, but back in the day when we watched movies, special effects, and it was all done. It was actual effects with real props, with real, moving puppets or whatever. Everything is CGI now. And whilst I get CGI serves a purpose and everything looks stunning visually, I much prefer real special effects, real people playing real roles rather than seeing all these, green screen effects. How many films do we watch? You said it earlier, Matt. You go, well, there was a bit of an iffy CGI bit in it. That bit looked terrible. It was CGI, it looked terrible. Yeah. I miss. How many? Before long, they'll do films, and I mean live action films, almost without people, full stop, without sets, without, and you just think. I prefer special effects that we got, like RoboCop in real going into the big tub of acid. That won't be done real now, would it? They wouldn't do that effects now. They wouldn't stick a prosthetics on somebody and have skin hanging off them. They'd just do a CGI of people's skin melting.
Oh, what?
Not even it's suited to be real now, would it? It's all suited to be CGI now, and everything would be. It does kill it a bit. So, you know what though? Even though I speak dreadfully of the sequels, if there's one thing I will speak highly of them, is that they did say they were going to put a lot of natural products in and make a lot of props and go back to puppetry, and they actually did. In the sequels, they don't seem to be off CGI at all, what the prequels were. It seems to be a bit more back to original effects.
Well, look at the scene where Yoda takes on Sidious. Somersault, triple somersaults, backflips, twisting up in the air. He couldn't have done that in Jedi, could he?
No.
See Frank Oz underneath him, twisting him around him.
So are you saying you can't do that, Luke?
The only person I know who can do that is Adam.
This is funny. Kenny says he does a Cinema World membership where it's about 18 quid a month and you can watch as many films as you like. But I don't go in the afternoons where possible as it's quiet. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's worth doing. That. Yeah, that's worth doing.
Yeah, you got to make sure you go there, ain't you?
Yeah, if you go enough, it's worth doing. If you go enough,
you've only got to go twice a month. I'm quite lucky.
You save every year and tell you how much you've saved by going, which is
yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I'm quite lucky. I get a free ticket every 2 weeks. So that's why I go. Like I don't have to pay.
I hadn't paid for this cinema in 20 odd years before our cinema got shut down. No, now I'm paying because we've got an IMAX here now. That's it.
Yeah, because I used to do it with the Odeon, I think, the card thing. But now I've got a Cineworld near me now. That's why, because I moved. So,
well, Darren says here, cinemas need to evolve again, just like the 90s, to fight video and DVD rentals. Do you think, in a way, because I know there's a few lads here in the chat that collect the DVDs and the steelbooks like you, Matt, and so on. Do you think that's why they've stopped doing it in a way? Because they know people are waiting for that? Because I saw a point this week where someone said he bought the steelbook of a new movie. It was cheaper than him going out and actually watching the movie once, where you can buy the steelbook. Do you think that's why they've calmed down on DVDs and Blu-rays and steelbooks and so forth? It's because of that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think so. Well, they've cut down on. Well, some people actually prefer watching a DVD than actually watching a 4K, which is weird. Some, they're just
I think market dictated the decline in DVDs personally.
Yeah, then
people just ain't buying them.
No, and you've got this rot thing that's going around, especially with Warner Brothers DVDs. That's terrible. So they're degrading now. They said they'd never degrade, but they are. So,
George Jenkins just said then about evolving the cinema. The cinema did try evolving again, if you remember. We went for that new 3D stage. This is the new 3D technology. Forget the old glasses, this is your new. And how long did it last? 5 years? 4.5 years? There was nothing in the cinema. Every film was 3D now. There's no 3D films in the cinema, do you know?
Well, the TV, the home TV 3D ones dropped off as well, didn't they? They just they were a big thing everyone wanted. And they just dropped off again, didn't they? So,
well, let me ask you, JC. Is that why you think video games are, if not bigger than movies now, is because of people just bored of them?
Well, I think the games are heading in a similar direction as well, because they're also going. A lot of them are going now, because I watched the Sony State of Play video last night about what's coming out, and a lot of it is remakes of old stuff. And they've got some new stuff coming out, but they're now like rehashing the old stuff and then making them better graphics and all that. Which, there is a market for it, but you still need new ideas to keep people wanting to buy the new consoles. Because if the new console comes out and it's £500-600, you've got to actually have some warrant to buy it. And some people do buy them just religiously, but you got to have something to play on it. I mean, that's just. You'll probably find, say, someone like Matt who just bought his old Atari, he probably have more fun with that than someone who bought a new PlayStation. He might buy one game. So that's where they're in a similar sort of decline as well. So they need to actually reinvent themselves a bit too.
But I actually bought the first PS4 game. I went and bought the Mad Max game that's really old now. 2015 it came out. And it cost me £6. I bought that from CEX, whatever. And I've had so much fun playing that last weekend. I was playing it for ages. And they're saying people are going back now and playing older games now because the newer games are just, they're getting more.
Which, as you say, which is why they're to the remakes, because everyone wants to play the older games. So you look at the Resident Evils, what they've now brought the remakes out of. I mean, they are really good, but that's a remake of an older game. Not a new idea.
A little bit of a fun question for you all, because I was just Googling how sales of DVDs have declined. What do you think the biggest selling DVD is of all time without Googling it? I was quite shocked.
It's got to be a Disney movie. It's got to be a Disney.
It's got to be something like, what's that Disney film?
Adam, you've got to say it's Sound of Music, haven't you?
No. So I'll tell you, it's Finding Nemo.
Yeah, it's got Pixar.
I was just Googling about DVD sales and it popped up, so I thought I
thought it was going to be what's the ice thing? What's the Frozen,
isn't far behind. But they reckon DVD sales declined between 2016 and 2019 by 86%.
Wow,
that's
That's crazy.
When you go to a car boot, you can't even sell them for £1 now. People don't want, I'm not paying that. I'll pay 150p. Yeah.
Well, you go in a charity shop. We've been in a couple of charity shops today. You get Blu-rays now for £1 in charity shops.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but you think about it, is it got to go the same way if as long as they don't rot or anything? Is it got to go the same way as VHS? You couldn't get rid of them for love nor money, but look at some of them now.
Yeah,
that's true. That's a good point. That is a good point.
I hope one day VHS comes back. I really hope it does.
Some of these Blu-rays are worth a lot of money. If you look on YouTube, there's a lot of videos. A lot of these Blu-rays are worth a lot of money.
Yeah. You just look at when I mentioned 28 days later.
I watched
the zombie one.
Yeah, you look for it on eBay. It's going for 30 to 40 quid.
So, I watched it. I can't remember what I had to. I think I had to stream it somewhere because it's not actually on any of the streaming services.
It's not. It's not. That's why it's going with so much money. Yeah.
But it's a great film. I watched that and 28 weeks later, but back to back the other day. Funny enough, but they're making a new one of that. And I love that film. So
so there'll be a box set come out. So there'll be
all three of them.
Yeah,
all three of them. Probably 4K.
What do you think will fix it then? It's because they'll say things like there used to be a time when we were kids. It didn't matter what the film was like. It was your actor you went to see. You know, your Tom Cruise, your Arnold Schwarzeneggers, your Stallone. Your name was always above the title, and you saw it. More or less, these actors always played the same parts, whatever. But what do you think would bring it back now? Because really, when was that? Besides Cruise, I suppose, or Leonardo DiCaprio, there's no one really that makes me go, "Oh, watch that because of him." Do you know what I mean? So what do you think? What do you think would fix it? What do you think? Do you think it's the price? If they brought the prices down a bit, we'd all go a lot more. Or the movies, what do you reckon it is?
I'm not convinced it's the price to actually pay to go and see it. I'm convinced it's money related, but for me, I'm convinced it's the lack of ideas because there's nothing new that would like pull me in to go to cinema. And the only time I do go now is it has to be a nostalgic pull, like Top Gun Maverick, like that was like kind of like a big thing. I think I've been to the cinema twice since then.
I agree with that. That was a nostalgic pull.
I mean, I was tempted to go and see that Quiet Place, the prequel, and that does look interesting, but it's just the same thing we've already had, isn't it? So, but it's nice to see something.
Adam, would you say if it's a £5 to go, would you go or not?
I'm going to be really honest here, and I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but if it was 20 quid to go, if I wanted to see the film, I'd just pay it. That's just me. I haven't got a family. I haven't got loads of people to take with me, so that makes it a lot easier for me. So I appreciate that. But I would just go with if I wanted to see it. So it wouldn't really, unless it was £100 or something stupid. But if it's £15 or £5, it doesn't really bother me personally.
No.
I mean, if you take a family of 4.
Well, that's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah. I think there's a price difference as well. If you go in the morning or you go in the evening, isn't there? There's a difference in price as well. So
I'd be more inclined to go if it was cheaper admission.
Yeah, I think because it's 12 quid. I think it's a bit cheaper in the morning than in the evening. So
I just said all that. I get tickets for free, so I don't have to pay. That's the beauty of it. So
Tim and Jonathan have put in the chat. They can see the next reboot being Back to the Future, and so can I. And I really hope they don't do it.
No, they can't touch that.
I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they do it.
I really hope they don't.
Controversy seems to take the wind out of sales with modern storytelling. Gina Carano. Does that sort of thing put you lads off as well? Because it kind of does me. You know, when you because you get hammered by it, don't you? The social media just hammer you with it, and so everyone has an opinion. Like, oh, that's a bit, you know, what they've done to her and so forth. You know, I agree with that.
Yeah. Tim's. I want to see the new. Tim's saying he wants to see the new Planet of the Apes. Yeah, I still want to see that. Yeah, that's it.
Nick, say hi, pal. Do you guys think the power to destroy film series before it even comes out? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do. The negative reviews or something will put a lot of people off straight away, won't it?
Yeah.
It's even just if you see things, it'll put people off. So I said, like I said, went on a comment. So I said earlier, we didn't have the internet back then, so you had to go because you didn't want to miss out from the chats in the playground or the chats at work or wherever you were back in the day. As soon as it got to say 2000 and 2003 and you started getting the internet, everything got spoiled. And that's the problem.
Yeah, I think films are in the eye of the watcher. Like back in '92, Barry Norman said California Man was one of the worst films he's ever seen. I bloody love that film. I thought it was hilarious.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Saying that.
I thought it was a great film. It's
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, it's called something else in America, isn't it? Different name in America, isn't it? It's got.
Is it Encino Man?
Encino Man or something.
Encino Man,
yeah. But then again, I think I prefer narrative over the big explosions and things like that. I prefer a good storyline with a twist rather than again like the Marvel films. They're all relying on all this CGI explosions.
Yeah, I agree.
It's true. It's true.
That's what I've been watching. Yeah.
Sorry, no, go on, Matt. Go on, Matt.
No, I was just saying about the Apple TV. We can keep up with that. So I'm watching the C series at the moment. It's a very good story. It's very clever. Very clever.
Yeah.
Ken says here as well, all films are too long now, 90 minutes or an hour and a half max. You see, now when we grew up, that's what it was. It's like RoboCop. It's an hour and 37 minutes, but it feels like it's on for 20 minutes. It's so fast-paced and so well. But then again, I've just sat through the 4-hour Lord of the Rings. So to me, it depends on the movie, Kev. I think if it's a really good, entertaining story.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Kev there. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind a good 2-hour movie or even a little bit more. But once movies start getting towards 3 hours, I sometimes check out a little bit.
Yeah, I can't watch late. I can't watch films late now. I cannot watch them late.
Like The Irishman or something. I couldn't get through that. If I
that was a notoriously slow film, weren't it? That was the problem. I think if the film's good enough, like let's say Back to the Future, because it's been mentioned. I would take 10 hours of watching Back to the Future because the subject matter is good enough. You know what I mean? I would totally. I'd have a series of that. Not now, but back then I would have. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. And I think it's all to do with the film. I watch films sometimes, and I finished, and I thought I could do with a half-hour more of that.
You hear nowadays they've got to fit agendas in. You've got to have the right narrative, and the right DEIs become a big thing. Tyler Sheridan, who did Yellowstone and his spin-offs, every one of them is good because the guy's got talent. The guy's got stories to tell. Do you know what I mean? And and that's the thing. It's
what was that thing you just done on Amazon? What was that new one you just done? The Ops.
Mass Reeves, was it?
No, the Lionesses.
Oh right, I haven't seen that yet. Was that any good?
That's good. Yeah, that's good series.
I agree with Bosco. I watched 1883 and 19.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. Harrison Ford. That's great. Yeah. Brilliant. I don't know if we're going to get a series.
Can I just put in the comments there
that VTR's just made that's made me piss myself?
He's
put, I don't think that's Jules. It's Stuart in the car park again.
Get a torch.
Jules, you come on, and they just give you nothing but abuse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because everyone keeps saying it's getting darker and Jules can disappear.
Logged in from the car park.
My battery's going flat, and obviously I need more nicotine. There we go.
Yeah. And a torch. Get a torch under your chin.
Got to see my 3 chins. No.
The leprechaun. Do the leprechaun.
We sorted it.
I watched Mr. Right the other day. I don't know if you've seen that with Sam Rockwell.
It's a great film, Jules. It's a great film.
It's got a lot of piss takes of things like John Wick and a couple of other things.
It's a good film.
It entertained me. Yeah,
it's funny. Yeah, it's a good film.
Give me a sec.
Believe it or not, I watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest the other day.
Great film.
It was a great film.
There is some
crazy thing you saw Top Gun years ago with the guy who was on in Yar. Crazy, these celebrity friends, brilliant.
Yeah, Goose was it was Dr. Was he Anthony Edwards? I was forgetting his name. But yeah.
Yeah, what was the last movie that was awesome, Si? What was your last favourite film at the cinema?
I had 3. I loved Spider-Man Far From Home. I thought it was brilliant, and I loved the ending. I absolutely loved the Batman. I thought the Batman was brilliant. I thought it was a great session up for that. And not everyone's fancy and stuff, but I also love the Joker. And he said to me that DC's still in good hands. And like the rest of them, DC can say, this isn't working, let's reboot the lot. I'm looking forward to what's coming because of that. Do you know what I mean? So there's still good stuff there, but it's just not what it was. When we were younger, we had like 10 films every year, which were fantastic. Like Adam, he's the analytics man. You look at any film in any year from any of the 80s, you got like 4 belters a year. Do you know what I mean?
You probably got more than that side, but yeah.
Well, it was shared on some of us on the group, ain't they? We saw we were sharing the years of films released in the 80s. And 84, 85, 86, there was about 10 films that were like would be top films.
But they weren't dominated by a specific gender. It wasn't right. This year, your 3 big films are Marvel, and everybody seems to accept that today. All right, then the 3 big summer films are Marvel. That's what we're looking forward to. Whereas a kid, there'd be like a sleeper hit. I think the last one like that to me was The Matrix. When he saw The Matrix, and it was like, because of the Phantom Menace came at the same time, it was sort of overshadowed, wasn't it? But The Matrix was amazing.
I've got a list here of the films that released in 1986, right? So I'll read them out to you. Top Gun, Platoon, Flight of the Navigator, Cobra, Critters, Alien,
Critters is a big one.
Karate Kid 2 or 3, Big Trouble in Little China, Short Circuit. Like they're all worldies, pretty much. Like, you know, it's one.
They're all so different, aren't they? That's the thing. Yeah, musicals for science fiction there, and yet you look at all the stories of them.
Right, that sound's back. Someone's gonna have to sort out that sound. It's really bad. So
it might be Jules' phone, because Jules is on her phone. So it could be Jules's.
Hey,
I'm not sure.
Shabby.
Have you tried muting everyone, Shabby? Have you tried muting everyone?
Let's have a look. Hang on. Yes, Cap.
Oh.
I've got to get going. I got to go feed the crew. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, thanks for coming on, buddy. It's great to see you.
Good to have you, Cap.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody have a good weekend.
Yeah.
And
Thank
you,
mate.
Just mute
right,
everyone's.
Streaming killed DVDs and Blu-rays. Do you agree with that?
Oh.
Yes, 100%. I used to buy DVDs and Blu-rays all the time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, now they're on here, they're on there. I don't buy any of them anymore. And I haven't bought. I used to go in Asda in places like HMV and always pick up the latest that has come out. And I'd be there for all the early Marvel films and stuff. I haven't picked up a Blu-ray or a DVD in years.
You see that?
Yeah, you see, I still pick up DVDs and Blu-rays, but I get them from the local CEX for like £1 and £2 a time, car boots, charity shops. But because I'm a big fan of physical media, I still believe in physical media rather than everything streaming.
Yeah, me as well. I'd rather have the physical item.
I just think because when things go down or things get cancelled, if you've got it on
DVD
or whatever, then
swaps. Like I don't buy albums anymore that I used to do. I don't buy movies, but I've still got to have physical media when it comes to games.
Yeah.
I can't just buy one of them consoles where I download them. I've got to have a library of games. I've always been like that.
That's something we've all covered as well about the imagination. Stop rebooting everything. I agree with that. I think we all agree with that, don't we? We're getting a bit.
Tim,
I think that's what
Tim put in the. Sorry, mate.
No, go on. You go.
I was just going to say, Tim put in the comments earlier though about. I mean, I'm a big fan of it. He said one of the really good films was Dead Man's Shoes with Paddy Considine. That's a great film. That's because it's good acting, good story writing, good twist at the end.
That's amazing.
You know, brilliant film.
What's really like that Paddy Considine in that? It's like he's not even acting in that, is it? That's something else. That film.
Great film. Yeah, great film.
One of the best films I've seen of late is a film which probably went under the radar, and I don't think many people would have seen it. Is Iron Claw.
Oh yeah, not seen that. No.
Is that the wrestling film? Yeah, I'm not a big wrestling fan, so I wouldn't watch it.
You don't have to be though. That's just the thing. It's about a family.
It's a great
true story, and the wrestling's like probably 15% of it.
Yeah,
it's like a back seat. It's such a good film. Like that is a world of a film.
Got the guy from The Bear in it, which I like. Yeah, he's the
thing is, I sometimes have issues with films, even if I haven't seen it because of who's in it. Straight away, I mean, I'm not a fan of Zac Efron. He offends me.
He's amazing in it, though. To be fair,
I'm sure he is. But he offends me at every. Jared Leto is another one. Just offends me. The second I look at
this is like custard creams again.
That's it. Yeah, we've gone back to the biscuits again.
And I'm devastated. I'm devastated that Jared Leto's in the new Tron film.
Oh yeah, Jared Leto. Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Imagine if there's a film with Jared Leto and Zac Efron, and it's about custard creams.
Yeah,
they're dipping the custard creams.
I'd go around every shop smashing it up.
Did you see this about the multi? They found He-Man. He's the guy that's in that new Prime movie with Anne Hathaway. But guess who's playing the villain in the Masters of the Universe film? Sacha Baron Cohen.
Really?
Yeah, Cohen playing him. So they never said. They said he's playing the main villain. Now they didn't say Skeletor, but obviously Skeletor.
Gotta be. Yeah,
I can't wait for that. See, that's going to be good for me because it's something like I said. But it's the same as toys situation. I said my shit about toys. Luke, you've done it. You've been collecting new lines. Sometimes you need something new, don't you? You need to hang on a minute. I'm getting a bit.
I mean, we've touched on it. I don't know what's happened, Shabby. I really don't. But at the moment, I have this thing about new toy lines. I was convinced that I was collecting everything I wanted to collect, and a new toy line, I'll get that. I'll start a new toy line. I'll start that. I must have picked, since I stopped doing videos, I must have started picking up 6 or 7 new toy lines, and I've now been tempted to another one. Every time I pick up a new toy line, I'm like that. That's it. I've got everything now. I'll start. Oh no, I like that. Yeah, I'll get that as well. I don't know what's happened. I do not know what's happened, but
see that'll teach you for stopping your Sunday morning videos, Luke. There you go.
Yeah, I'm finding eBay a bit too often now, I guess. Yeah,
you're trolling eBay more than making your videos.
Awful. Yeah,
The Fridays when you do editing, you're not editing, you're just eBaying and Facebook groups.
Yeah, honestly.
Do you know what? Going back to that Back to the Future thing now. I saw a thing that they were going to think we was doing a restory with Martina McFly, which was Marty McFly's granddaughter, and she takes over and all that.
I don't think it's going to happen.
That I'm not so keen on. But what if they did a Luke Skywalker Luke? What if they brought Michael J. Fox back, young Michael J. Fox, just like how they did with Luke in The Mandalorian, and all of a sudden you've got this young Michael J. Fox back for Back to the Future 4? Would you be on board for that? Robert Zemeckis back and everything.
Yeah, might be. Yeah.
I just don't think Robert Zemeckis and was it Bob Gow? They won't allow it to happen. I just don't see him allowing it to happen.
Money talks in Hollywood, Adam. Money talks.
And there's always a way to do it. Yeah. And there's always a way to do it. There's always a way around.
They just get a new DeLorean.
I would, I would probably welcome if they took it in another direction, like Quantum Leap, the TV show. For me, they should have brought that back with Sam's son, the main character, Scott Bakula's son, trying to find him after obviously being lost in time. Instead, they did go with totally different narrative, and it was only Quantum Leap in name, really, and it weren't that great.
I watched it. I didn't watch the new one.
It's not that great. It's very woke. It's very woke.
Kept away from it.
I've really enjoyed tonight. This has been awesome. I've stayed interested. It's nice to see, because we're all roughly on the same page, but you've made some great, you lot, the chat, everyone's made some great. So you can't really put your finger on one thing, can you? There's so many different things to.
I think that's what it is, Mark. I think so many things together has built up for the bus stop. I think it's just a lot of things together that have done it. The television that we're getting, the movies that we're getting.
Yeah, I scroll through Facebook sometimes.
To be fair, as well, didn't it? After COVID, no one was going to the cinema. Let's be fair. As if you're going to sit in a room full of 100 people after you've been told for a year, stay in your house and don't breathe on anyone. You know what I mean? So
that was what the Top Gun. That's why Tom Cruise released it in a cinema, didn't he? Because he got offered a lot of money to send it straight to streaming, and he said no because he wanted people to physically go to the cinema again, and that was why he done it basically.
Right.
I mean, I scroll through Facebook sometimes, and they'll have them little videos come up, and you'll watch it and say, "Oh, this looks really cool. What film is this?" And it's a game cutscene. That is,
yeah, they were good. They were good, Tim. Yeah,
but they were done
differently. You think, "Oh, what film is this?"
Is that why it was? Because they were done differently, weren't they?
The Batman. Yeah, it was done way differently. Yeah, it's a younger Batman, isn't it, for starters? Yeah.
Here you go, Luke. You got a question there. What new toy line? Don't keep us hanging.
Well, I haven't dipped into it yet. so they're in a new toy line. But
it's just on the. He's on the rim. He's on the rim.
Yeah, I'm tempted now. I'm tempted because I did have a bit when I was a kid. I'm massively tempted by Starcom. Massively.
Yeah. Starcom. Yeah, good stuff.
I remember that. Yeah.
I was wrong. Says anyone ever heard of? We've got the app Letterboxd. It's interesting.
Luke, if you're after some Starcom, a certain person over here has got some. Who's in the dark? He's got some.
Shadow and Parasites for sale.
I need to have a chat with Jules anyway because he's a mask guy now, isn't he? So we need to have a chat.
He's a mask guy.
Adam was telling me he got some good bargains the other weekend.
Jules has basically completed mask in about a month.
He just bought everything he could see. Yeah, everything.
Yeah. I might have spent the opposite James Bond's number backwards. That's how much I spent.
Going back to what Zoe said about the app for film. So I've got an app which I literally list everything I've ever watched and everything that I'm going to watch. It shows and it says it tells you how long you've physically watched TV without taking a break. As in if you never took a break, never slept. And it's scary, but I haven't done it for films yet. But I do appreciate. I like things like that.
Yeah, you like all your stats, don't you?
So you've got a spreadsheet. Yeah.
No, I've got spreadsheets for the collecting.
Oh,
I'm not the only one though. So is VTR.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have. Yeah, it's a good way because you do forget what you get. Yeah.
I love processing buys. When I get them, I sort them all out, put them in my spreadsheet, and put them into the collection on display. True story that.
So I think but we're coming to the end now. We've got about 4 minutes left. I think what it is none of us are saying we're not going to go to the cinema anymore. We all love the cinema.
Yeah, I still go, but not go once or twice a year now. It's not every month like I used to go.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's it has to be a movie to get us all out of our asses in it and go to the cinema and see it. Because I agree with Adam in a way. Yeah, it's a bit expensive, but if there's a movie you genuinely want to see, you're going to pay for it, aren't you? You're going to go and pay for it. So
yeah.
So I totally agree with you, Adam, about Quantum Leap.
Yeah, Quantum Leap was a great show, brilliant show that was.
Yeah, we need a new
never made a sequel to
bad, but it could have been so much better. That's all I would say. It could have been so much better if they'd have gone a different route with it.
In Henry Cavill working on the 40 Warhammer.
Yes, he's a big collector, and he's
working on the film, isn't he?
Yeah, he wants us his little project.
Hi, Brian. Yeah. So everyone's coming tonight. Everyone. So thank you all for coming on. It's been brilliant. I've enjoyed this. Bob Geller's repeatedly said he does not want to do Back to the Future.
Yeah. Bob Geller, I just don't see him allowing it at all.
No, he doesn't need to do it. It's fine as it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree, Matt. It is.
But I just always feel people find a way. They'll find a workaround if somebody really wants to do it. They'll find a workaround. They will, But I hope they don't, because I love Back to the Future, and I don't want to see another one. But I just think if they really want to do it, someone will find a way to get around it.
Yeah.
Cheers, Kim. Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Though, can't you? Because we all banged on for ages about a new Crow film. I'd love to see a new Crow film. And I've just seen that new Crow trailer. Have you seen that trailer?
I've seen it. Same reaction.
I said I called it.
Crow.
I just thought it looked very European. It looked like it was set in like France or somewhere.
I don't think the guy suits the role.
He looks like a Poundland Joker. Doesn't he look like the Joker from Poundland? That's not the Crow. I was really disappointed in that.
It's the wrong,
was.
Wrong look for it.
I agree.
There's so many fakes on YouTube trailers. It's unbelievable.
I'm just wondering who's who on that comment.
Mrs. McCluskey.
That's what I mean.
He's turned up. He's always late, isn't he?
Well.
He's late for it, isn't he? Yeah,
I hope I'm not Zamo. Zamo was a smackhead.
Bosky's right. It's all about the moolah. Because remember, George did once say he'll never make any more Star Wars, and look what's happened there. He sold it.
Yeah, Chris is classing. He comes in right at the end, throws a grenade, and then naps off. Doesn't he? He's brilliant.
They'll be laughing all morning.
Right. What I'll say about that Indiana Jones movie, I watched it and it was all right. Would I watch it again? No. I've seen
it.
I agree.
I've watched it twice.
Again, that's with so many movies in today. Just to think that we've got so many new Star Wars films and none of them are rewatchable. That is
You've heard people say it all the time. You go to the cinema and see something about 4 or 5. That's why they made so much money, because you wouldn't just go the once. You'd go back.
No, I did go and see the prequels like 2 or 3 times each when they first came out. Yeah.
I didn't. Force Awakens I saw twice. And simply because couldn't come the first time.
I think I saw Rogue One a couple of times and Force Awakens, but I didn't see the rest twice. So
that's a bit different. I think I only ever saw one film at the cinema twice. I don't think I've never gone back, even when I was a kid. As soon as I watch the film, I wait until it comes out on video then.
Yeah, wait till you get to Chris's next comment.
I'm still trying to remember.
I don't even know what to say.
I've lost there. Is that a hint, Stu? Is it? Is that a hint? Is that a hint, Stu? Yeah. He's hinting there. Yeah, right, Stu. Yeah.
Why? Why is there something else on after us?
Is he doing his own stream? Oh, yeah.
We're going till 12, aren't we?
Yeah, we're on to about 10, aren't we? 10, 11? I thought we was going on to. All right.
Well, there was someone put in the chat saying, "Can we carry on this subject? That's so good." So,
yeah.
Well, me and Si need to chat train timetables. So
we do. We'll let you crack on. Yeah, we'll let you crack on. Yeah.
They are. Look at Des. Look at Des. You big. Yeah, see you. It's Stu's. Hey, super fan Lee. Good to see you, pal.
Hi, Lee.
So, very interesting live stream today. Having lots of chat. Yeah, I've enjoyed
Luke
it.
win. It's Luke. Luke win. All right, Luke. Cheers, mate.
Anyway,
Kieran saying Babe Station soon. Yeah, well, it's about that time, isn't it? 10. Yeah.
Do you think that's what ruined it too, though? When you'd be happy with a trilogy, but when they start making number 4 and number 5, it was a bit.
Yeah.
So the conversation is they were going to make a number 4 after number 3 back in the day, but Michael J. Fox obviously then got Parkinson's. And that's why they never did. But if he hadn't have got Parkinson's, they were going to make a Back to the Future 4 around about 1993. That was the money. That was what they were going to do. And it was only because he got Parkinson's they didn't carry it on.
Yeah.
Cheers, Kenny. All right. Well, on that note, listen, thank you all for coming on and helping me. Because, like I said, Tez was sick tonight. So, Simon, Luke, I appreciate it.
Yeah, get well, Tez. Yeah.
You feel better soon, Tez.
And we're not going to be arsey. Stu and Adam are going to do a stream next. If you want to go over to Universal Toy Collectors and watch, talk about Spurs for 2 hours.
It's not about football. It's about all football teams.
About football, yeah.
I'll tell you what, your Everton will even get a mention, Shabby.
Yeah. And how will you mention my Everton? Like the great, like the Real Madrid, right?
Adam.
In the end credits, probably, Shabby.
Credits, yeah.
I might mention how they beat Liverpool just to annoy Stu.
No need, isn't it? See, I'm not to make sure we're ready.
Hang on.
Not yet, Michael. Not yet. Still looking.
Mary Falcon. What's Mary Falcon? What's that?
It's the only Terrorhawks figure that I still need on card.
Oh, I've just made.
Oh,
that's all right.
Hey, it's a nice front door, that, Jules.
Yeah, lovely white door. Yeah.
He's been kicked out.
A low budget reproduction of Blair Witch Project for a minute.
Yeah, no, it's the only figure I still need for Terrorhawks, Shabby.
Nice. I've never heard of it. Which one was Mary Falconer?
Everyone's saying good night. They're giving us hints here. They're all saying good night.
Adam, everyone. VAR review of Liverpool.
I've got VAR stats. I've got all the stats ready for it, so don't worry.
Right, so I might join there, mate.
Right, well, we're going to go, right? So,
we're
going. Yeah. Adam and Stu, Universal Toy Collectors. We'll see you all. Thanks, everyone, for coming on. We'll see you next Matt's channel next week, right?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
See you, Matt.
Hopefully. Yeah, cheerio.
See you later.